You're watching Suck Professor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by
James,
Sir James of the Golden Ankle. Hey, buddy.
hello.
Wow, I am all jazzed up after watching Game of Thrones Episode 4, Season 7. Holy shit, what an ending.
Sadly, though, I knew what was going to happen because this episode was leaked early.
Right.
I didn't download it, I didn't torrent it. I'm not about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
we've moved on. I haven't done that shit
We
in
did
years.
that in our youth, but we don't do that anymore.
Exactly. I like that we're using we now.
Yes, collectively we share the same ethical code. But
Definitely.
Anyway, I knew what was going to happen for the episode, but nothing prepared me for what I actually saw.
Right.
This was not just the best episode of Game of Thrones I've seen in a long time. This was the best television content I have seen in a very long time.
And that's coming from somebody who watches Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yes.
That is impressive. That is a powerful statement. Yeah, so we're going to get into it, everybody. We're going to go through the whole episode, tons of screenshots. I think I had 848 screenshots. I'm not sure why they let us do this, but hey, why not? But we will until they...
They're still working on getting the
until
water.
they tear down our YouTube channel. But so it's kind of like a long podcast if you're new here, everybody. I'm going to say some dumb, inappropriate stuff probably. I'll try to say some smart shit too. I don't have an agenda here, but I'm just kind of a moron. And probably be a little annoying to some people. But on the other side of that, not so annoying to a few other people. So the system works. And James is going to have a lot more insight.
Oh, no.
Because his brain works better than mine.
No, I'm stupid.
James is very stupid.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Why didn't I mean to say that part out loud? Damn it. All right, let's get going. Here we go. I'm going to do it. Okay, we open up on... Nay.
It's a convoy of Lannisters leaving behind what appears to be Highgarden after they sacked Highgarden in the last episode, in which case we know they stole all the gold because the Tyrells were the rich people.
They were the rich
and
people.
And they need to pay a debt back to the Iron Bank, so this is why they did it.
Right. And it...
that and the fact that the Tyrells sided with the Targaryens.
And it removes the Tyrells from their threat, which fucks up their plan to do the
Yes.
blockade. Not that the Lannisters knew that was their plan, but it really does mess up Daenerys' plans. I just like this old house. Doesn't it look like old lady Olenna lives there, huh? Does it look like an old lady
You'd
house?
think it'd have like a flat roof to it if it was hers. It is hers, but you know, that
It
weird
would have a
hat
big
she
air
wears.
conditioner, some
Yep.
some wind chimes, maybe one of those cutouts of somebody with their butt where they're bending over in the garden.
Or
You know what I'm
like
talking
big
about?
thorns growing up the side of the walls.
Yeah.
And she was the Queen of Thorns.
One of those orbs, those garden orbs. I love those orbs.
I have no idea what that is.
People out there, let me know in the comments what you know about orbs. All right, that's only the first screenshot. Sorry, we move a little quicker than that. Sorry, it's just okay. So there's the thing. Oh fuck! Oh shit! I skipped. All right, so we got march, clomp, 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 clomp. Feet, boots, spears, and then we see this wagon. Hey, hold that wagon! Come on! And then it's and James. You were like, oh, it's all the gold, and I was like, how the hell do you know that?
Well, I mean, okay.
No, it's totally obvious.
But I'd read the synopsis of the episode, so I knew it from that, but I also instinctively would have known it based on this because they're leaving Highgarden, and that's where we left off in the prior episode.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's not something that this hard to
I know.
figure
I'm
out.
giving you credit for deducing a very obvious thing because I had no idea. I was like, oh my god, he was totally correct. It was all the gold. I live in a fog of confusion.
And you know what Jamie's thinking?
New hands?
Yes. How many hands can I make from this?
This is worth at least 1,500 hands. Yeah. So he does see this. He wants a little tighter because he's got a thin penis.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Trying to keep down on the potty humor. Somebody complained that they heard me talk about my privates in the previous episode on one of the comments. I didn't come here to hear you talk about your privates.
I think that was me.
You send me an email every morning.
Yes.
That says that. But I mean, I get it. I don't necessarily want to hear about some other guy's junk either. But this, the show's about fucking murdering children, incest, rape, stabbing pregnant women. But a guy talks about his dick, and set the world on fire. Okay, let's keep. All right, sorry, that doesn't mean anything. And so anyway, he pulls out a big heavy bag, and I did appreciate that they bother to use heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I hate when like empty coffee cups and they're just slinging them around. Like this is they
Or
did
when
not do
someone's
that.
throwing a rock and it's clearly a styrofoam rock.
Yeah, and it bounces off a guy's forehead. He doesn't even notice it. But yeah, so he gives it over to Bronn, and Bronn even, not that their guys are struggling, but they're holding a heavy leather satchel.
Bronn is a sellsword, right?
Yeah, he's a mercenary.
So he's a guy who can never get enough. He always complains that he wants more for what he's gotten. He's been given castles, a lordship, he's been given so much stuff, but yet he's still talking about not having enough and wanting more, despite having been handed a very large bag of gold.
Yeah, he's very ungrateful here. What's the word I'm looking for?
Ingrate.
Ingrate. I'm thinking not obstinate. That's stubborn. Anyway, he doesn't have any appreciation for what's been handed to him.
And I love Bronn. He's been one of my favorite characters for the longest time, but this scene in particular made me like him a little less.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I mean, the thing with him is they've never let him settle down. Like, he's been at certain points
He
where
tried to at one time.
Yeah, he's tried. He's like got the wife with him. You know, he's married off to some lord's daughter or whatever the hell. And, you know, they keep pulling him back to, because he's a very effective general / whatever the heck he is to them. I mean, you know, he's good at the machinery of death. But he wants to sort of give it up. I think he's getting a little tired, a little old, just like me. But yeah, his attitude was very ungrateful. He just sort of was kind of bitching and moaning in his funny, sort of sassy way. You know, we got sassy Bronn. He's always good. So Bronn says, "Why don't you just give me Highgarden? You promised me a castle. That's the whole thing here." He goes, "Give me that one. That's empty." And then Jaime, of course, very smartly, he's just tying something up. He's like, "No, idiot. Daenerys will come kill you, moron. We can't give you like the big one here, right now. Wait till the war's over."
Yeah, I love this right here. It says, "The more you owe, the more it weighs you down." But I could have sworn that what he said was, "The more you own, the more it weighs you down." I think the caption there is wrong. It makes no sense. The more you owe, it's the more you own. Like, trying to hold your borders is like how Rome fell. Is about, you know, it just makes no sense like that.
Maybe he meant the more you know. He's waiting for NBC.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the Lannisters, their whole thing is about debt. That's the Lannister always pays his debts. So the word "owe" goes hand in hand with having debt.
But he's talking about Highgarden and Bronn wanting to take Highgarden. He says, you know, and he mentions the upkeep. Is like, how will you keep it up? The more you own, the more it weighs you down.
Sure. Yeah. But whether it's owe as debt or own as owning property or stuff, that the sentence is true either way. I'm not disagreeing.
But contextually, it makes more sense the other way.
I agree. I agree with you. I'm just arguing because I'm kind of a prick. All right. So anyway.
I'll watch it again and see exactly what. But when I heard it, it sounded like that.
I would bet it was own. I think you're right. I'm coming down on Team James here, everybody. Hashtag Team James.
Yes.
Teen James, just like Teen Wolf.
Does not do that.
Did you play basketball and had Jello sex with girls at parties?
Sure, yeah.
That was Teen Wolf's plot, everybody. Sorry for spoiling the show. So anyway, Jaime, as it's been made clear, they need this money for the Iron Bank because they're going to lose their banking, their loaning. You need loans, you need banks to expand.
The most powerful thing in Westeros is an army, and an army doesn't exist without money, and money doesn't come from anywhere else other than the Iron Bank.
Right.
They are the power of the land.
They pretty much are, yeah. Try to get caught up here. Oh yeah, so he's like, this is Jaime giving him shit about being such a whiny little bitch. But, you know, that's okay. And this is where he says, wait till it's over. When it's over, you can take anything, and it'll all be peace. Oh yeah, I did like Bronn had this line here where he's like, I'm sure Cersei will rule over, or Cersei's reign is going to be all peace and quiet and peaceable. I don't know if that's the way that you know, you saw it though.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And then he talks about Stranger Things, which is a great show. Season 2 is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
What's going to go on in the upside down world? That's my Bronn. It's terrible. God, my fucking impressions are horrible. All right, so then Dickon comes by, and with Grandpa Tarly, that's Sam's
who he
dad.
Always assumes name's Rickon. He has to correct him as Dickon.
Yep. And although when Bronn heard him say, was that later? That was in this moment where he heard him say Dickon, and Bronn
and he starts laughing. It was a pretty hilarious moment. Kind
of funny. Richard, Dick, Rickon, Dickon. Right? Isn't that amazing?
Sure. Why not?
I think there's something there. So Bronn's, he's like, yeah, Jaime, why don't you go help him get all this food and stuff? He's like, no way, I'm not going to. He goes, no, but you're persuasive, dummy.
So Jaime tells Bronn to do it.
Yeah, so Bronn has to go. You have a talent for persuading farmers to give up their shit and do the work for you, moron. So anyway, there's handsome Jaime looking all good in his stuff, and then they ride off. So there you go. Wow, I did I feel like I'm off to on a bad. I feel like my vibe is bad today. Maybe I should sit up a little bit.
I mean,
I put deodorant on.
We got to see a spotted horse butt.
Where's the spotted?
That was worth it.
Oh, that one right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Spotted horse butt. Nice. You ever ride a horse, James?
Many times.
They're fucking horrible animals.
Hate them.
I think they should all be ground up into glue.
I agree.
And turned into fertilizer.
They always bite me, and I do nothing bad to them whatsoever. I treat them with kindness and love, and they bite me.
I worked at a horse barn for a summer, and I shoveled their shit and mucked their stalls and did stuff to the fence. And one time we had all these baby toads that hatched out of the pond, and then I was stepping on the baby toad accidentally. I wasn't trying, but like you couldn't not step on some because they were like everywhere. All right, well, there you go. So I hate horses. So must say, anyway, they're talking about the Iron Bank. Has ever had a debt of this? Oh yeah, now we get to this is the voice of
Cersei talking to the Iron Bank guy.
Yeah, the Iron Bank guy speaking there. Basically, like he's surprised. He's like, "Holy shit, you came through!" He did not expect to get paid back.
Well, it hasn't come through yet. She's promising that the gold is coming. She's informed them that they've gotten the gold from the Tyrells, and her brother Jaime is personally delivering it to the Iron Bank, but it has not yet arrived.
Yeah. That's right. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
But he's nevertheless he's like kind of relieved and sort of celebrating a little bit early maybe. But they're keeping their friendship / business partnership kind of by acting like everything is okay. That's what business people do all the time. They lie to each other with false bromides. That's not the right word. Platitudes. Bromance. False bromance. No, but they bullshit each other until somebody makes money. This is sort of an interesting sentence. I thought this quote here, it's very mechanical. It's like this is kind of what your job is, not you, James, but everybody in general. Your job is you're an instrument of where you work. And that's why it's so disheartening when you work for a place that just does something stupid. That's
why they say you're a cog in the machine.
Yeah, you're just another gear. That's why they beat the fucking independent thinking out of your brain when you're a kid to make you a loyal, obedient worker who won't complain. And by the time you realize you're fucked, you're already too old and you got Medicare, and then you just golf.
And getting a paycheck's not so bad.
Fuck that. I've been against. No, I'm not against getting a paycheck. I'm talking about that these majestic, beautiful human animals. Everybody is, except for the assholes. You can lose your status as a nice person, but when you devote so much life energy to like just something stupid like, oh, I helped
like this
truck flaps, mud flaps. I made mud flaps with Yosemite Sam printed on the back. You're saying I'm wasting my time?
No.
You're saying
what we're doing.
I don't know what we're doing. It's a terrible YouTube channel. All right, let's keep going. We do want to get through this eventually. We have a lot to go through. All right, so the whole thing here is basically that he's happy with what's going on, right?
Well, yeah, and he says some of my friends at the bank are going to be disappointed because we've gotten very fond and grown fond of your interest payments.
Yeah.
Because that's how the bank makes money. They make interest. When you pay your loan in entirety, they lose out on the profit.
Right. So she says, "Come on over to my woman cave," and this is her woman cave. She's basically describing her plans. I'm going to take over everywhere. He's like, "Oh, sounds great." Banks don't care. They'll make money off anybody.
Yeah. And she's going to get a loan from them again so she can install Street View.
Right. Yep.
On her map.
Yeah. Right now it's just 2D. It sucks. It's just gonna get those cool trees.
She needs the satellite view.
Yeah, the cars and the trees are somehow like 3D. Somehow I don't know how they do that. But yeah, so she needs her outside investment.
But she's essentially saying that I'm not done until I control all of the 7 kingdoms and all the people who live within it. And he's saying to do such a thing would require an outside investment. Essentially saying if that is what you endeavor to do, you are still going to need the Iron Bank. Despite the fact that your debt is paid off, we still have business to conduct.
Correct.
And here she reveals, and maybe this isn't a reveal, but I was not aware that Qyburn was her hand. I thought he was sort of like the maester. But
yeah.
That was news to me, but perhaps not news to everyone.
Maybe you ought to be looking at his lapels.
I should have. Yeah.
I hadn't noticed that.
It just hadn't occurred to me.
Was or was not. Yeah, because he's sort of like the evil wizard in the dungeon. This Golden Company, they're a mercenary company.
Yeah, they're sellswords just like Bronn is.
Right, but they're like in Essos, the eastern lands. There's big mercenary companies, and I want to say Dario Noharos, Daenerys' boyfriend,
ex-boyfriend.
Hey, not in his mind, okay, pal. All right, she stole a piece of his heart, just like you.
Yeah.
When you leave my room. That sounded way more intimate than I meant. I didn't mean it. I just meant when you leave my presence.
I'll never leave your presence.
It's a war on Christmas. I think I'm probably wrong here. I don't remember, but I know he's like the head of one of these big companies. And either it's the Golden Company or it's this other company that is like a rival to the Golden Company.
So
but they're dangerous and they're very skilled.
Yeah, she doesn't have an army that's capable of withstanding the wrath of Daenerys Targaryen. But if she has the Iron Bank on her side, she's going to get the sellsword, she's going to raise an army that way, so it basically shows her hand, what she's planning.
Yeah, yeah. But he's the bank, he's not going to reveal her plans. He's just in it for the money. He'll take whatever.
No, he's not going to tell anyone.
Yeah, she can trust him.
Yeah. And I mean, would you thwart that?
No,
he's terrifying.
They're like above it all. They're just they just like hover above all the conflicts and just sort of lubricate the different exchanges with money. That's what a loan. That's all.
They're like, what's that guy from Super Mario Brothers in the cloud that throws the spiny turtles down?
Lubrication Mario?
Lakito?
I don't know.
Lakito? Someone.
Oh yeah, the guy in the cloud that yeah. I don't know. Bill?
Bullet Bill? No.
Next scene, a knife, and it looks familiar. I said, hey, I think that's the knife that they tried to kill Bronn with, and it turns out, look who we have. It's Raisin Bran.
You said Bronn.
Oh yeah, I did say Bronn. Yeah, Bronn. Good. Come on, George R.R. Martin. You know what that stands for.
Really righteous.
George Railroad Martin.
No,
he's a big fan of monopolies. Parents conceived on a monopoly board. Never able to open it again. Totally stuck together.
God.
All right, the last man. Okay, so and then Littlefinger tells him that this knife was trying to kill you.
But if you recall, though, when the knife was recovered from the assassination attempt, it was identified as a knife that was given to Tyrion Lannister as a result of losing it from Littlefinger in a bet.
Right.
That's how they traced it back to him to implicate him in the attempted assassination of Bran. Mm-hmm. So now Littlefinger apparently recovered it afterwards.
Yes. I don't know if they ever showed how he got the knife back. Maybe it was in Winter. Was it in
originally
Winterfell?
his. Yeah, and they're not going to go and give it back to Tyrion after they accuse him of such a thing.
No,
so it kind of makes sense that he would have it back.
Yeah,
but it's Valyrian steel, as we know. It's
it's a high quality, very
and
good
it's
knife.
a symbol of the birth of Bran, almost in terms of him, the catalyst that led him along the path that he's currently on.
Right. And this old Bran, I think we need to talk about him. He's really turned into kind of a. I don't want to say. I think everybody's is having a hard time adjusting to the new Bran. That's a nice way of saying it.
He started to listen to Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
He's getting into the eyeshadow. And
he's real emo, this guy. He's turned into a sullen teen. It's like, hey, fuckbase, grow up. You're still a teen. But no reason to be sad. Wait till you're in your mid-20s to have your depression take over your life and ruin everything. That's what happened to me.
He's more the Three-Eyed Raven than he is Bran.
Oh, that's what I mean. It's like he is almost 98% the Three-Eyed Raven, it seems. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a high number, maybe. But he is so much a whole different guy. And we're going to see more of that.
Yeah, at one point in the episode, he says, I remember being Bran, but I also remember so much more. As though he's a different entity. He's on a different level. It's sort of like in The Watchmen when, what was that guy's, Dr. Manhattan goes from a human to that other form, and how he remembered being a human, but he is this ethereal destruction power now. Right.
So Bran asks him, where did you get the knife or who the knife belonged to before? And this is the question that started the War of the Five Kings. That's kind of an interesting note, though, that little moment forced the Starks to have to get vengeance or something, and it caused this whole war thing, right? I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but the dagger made you are what you are today. None of this would have happened without it, huh, buddy? He's like, I'm crippled, fuckface. All right, maybe I'm not so happy to see this knife.
The thing is, Littlefinger doesn't realize who he's dealing with now.
He was never attacked before the knife. He lost his legs.
Right. But he has never been in a situation where he didn't have the upper hand from a manipulation standpoint. I can't talk today.
It's okay. Listen.
But because Bran knows more than Littlefinger is aware of.
Yes, and that's coming up. The next screenshot is very important. I think James pointed out something that I, of course, had no idea about. So Littlefinger is basically saying, like, we'll go back one. To go through all that. Look how amazing, like. What a journey, what an amazing thing, and it must be so sad that you come back and the whole world's fighting. And then Bran looks right at him without any hesitation and says,
chaos is a ladder.
And I went, that's a good line. I thought it was a good line. But then James pointed out,
there's a look of recognition in Littlefinger's face.
Yes.
Because I believe this was a phrase that he used when he was speaking in confidence with Varys, in which no one else would have any knowledge of this. And I don't know if this was a line that was spoken to Ned Stark or if it was spoken in the context of betraying Ned Stark. It could have been, I'm not entirely sure, but it kind of speaks to the fact that Bran cannot be fooled by Littlefinger. He's looking right through him.
He's into his past.
Yes, he's saying, I know who you are, I know what you've done, I know you're not telling me the truth.
Right.
I know you're not to be trusted.
And the fact that they I thought this filmmaking choice was interesting, that they cut to Bran's face straight on. It takes a lot to do that in any scene. Like you really have to have an important. Let me put it this way: you're wasting this camera angle if you use it on just like regular kind of exposition or sort of standard dialogue. But this is super important. And then we cut straight to his look right into him. And he was like, oh, man, shit, this kid knows a lot that I don't. And so, yeah, that was a great catch.
Yeah, it was a moment that made him an adversary of Littlefinger.
Right. And Littlefinger got the message, though. He's like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
He knows exactly what Bran is talking about.
He basically got out of there. And then Mira comes by. She just got back from the pancake store and got a new pancake jacket. I like her. She's one of my faves. I think she's pretty cool. She's put up with a lot of shit.
Yeah, she's been through a lot. Having to drag Bran all the way across the north.
Dragging around on that sled. Come on. And you know, they're not like these fun plastic sleds like we got these days that are all nice and smooth on the bottom. It's one of those old-timey wooden things. All right, so...
and I have to imagine that Bran has to use the restroom at times, which I'm assuming she has to take care of as well.
Probably. Do you think he's just got a hole in the bottom of the sled?
Could be. I mean, that would lubricate the sled a little bit. Make it a little easier. Oh, these rocks are hard, Bran.
Yeah.
Give me a little something.
Or it's so cold he just poops out like poop crystals.
Yeah, that's horrific.
And they come out and they hurt a little bit, and then they make a little noise. You know, like when dry ice touches metal, when you touch like a fork to dry ice. All right, it's very so. So she sees he's got a wheelchair. That's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, these fellas weren't all the most innovative. They weren't. The ADA hadn't been passed. It's not passed for another 8,000 years.
Yeah, the last time he had a deal like that was when I think it was Tyrion had a saddle built for him so he could still ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're inventive. They have woodworking, metalsmithing guys in Winterfell.
Yeah, they modify. They adapt, but the rich guys get in the wheelchairs. The poor people, they get tied to a donkey, and they get to call the donkey their legs. So anyway, she's basically saying here, like, well, it's been good, man. Thanks for a lot.
I mean, I protected you. I got you to where you needed to go. I need to be with my family during this hard time.
It's going to get bad, and so I want to go bring these pancakes to my family.
Yes.
And my other sister's wearing a coat made out of syrup. We're going to meet in the...
Her name is Maple.
Anyway... Maple, that's a beautiful name for a woman. Or a man, I guess. But I'm going to have a daughter. Now I want to have a daughter named Maple. I want to have a... It sounds like... Why is there not... That's a great name.
I'm going to name my daughter Boysenberry.
Boysenberry. I'm going to name my daughter Poison Ivy.
Yes.
And she will command the plants. All right. So Bran doesn't even... He barely acknowledges it. He's like, all right, see you. Yeah. And she kind of goes, what? Really?
It's like, that's it?
That's it? That's... Thank you? Well, he's like, oh, you want more? Okay, thank you. Thank you for dragging you across the fucking Arctic Circle, you piece of shit. Killing my brother died. So, for helping me. And she's like, my brother died.
Hodor died. Summer died.
Everybody's dead, and you're just going to stare at me and say thank you? I thought that's totally the right reaction.
Yeah.
She kind of tears up. She's so overwhelmed. She's like, hey, what the fuck, man? And this is him, base. I'm not really... He just really doesn't want to be Bran. He's just done being Bran.
It's not that he doesn't want to be Bran. He's not Bran.
He's not, yeah. In a way, it's sad. As sad as, loss is innocence taken from him. First he saw two people having incest. That screws you up.
Having incest? Is that
well,
proper?
I don't know.
Committing incest,
was anybody confused about what I meant by those words? So yes, I did choose the right words.
No.
They were having incest. Bran fell out of the window at the hand of...
He didn't fall out of the window. He was pushed out of the window.
Let me finish my sentence. He fell after he was pushed.
Was it the hand?
I don't know which hand he used. He probably did use the...
Was it a hand or was it a foot?
No, Bran did not. Or it was a hand. And he goes, the things I do for love. Because he's super handsome.
And was it the hand that he lost later on?
It might have been. 50-50 chance. Unless he's got three hands. So anyway, Bran just kind of, dude, fake it. Come on, you fucking sociopath. Pretend like you care about her. Show her a little gratitude. Give her... I think he should be like, here's, $600, whatever that word,
Well, they should be insulted then. It's like, is this what the life of my brother was worth to you?
No, but there's a way to do that in like here, you need some money. I'm so grateful. I wish there was more I could do. This will help you get home. Like, there's a way to give her money without being like, here, okay, you fucking bitch, you want a little money? Here, I'll write you a check. And I do an aggressive check writing. You ever write an aggressive check?
No.
I've never either. I kind of want to now. Oh, yeah? Well, I'll sign my name real hard, Mr. Realtor. People get upset about money and stuff. I'm very stressed out about money, everybody. I've made a lot of bad choices, and it's causing my... I'll probably die early of stress. All right, so...
you just gloss over that? That's an important line.
I did gloss over it. Let's go back. So, yeah, she's basically... This is her realization, though, to how gone he is. She's like, you're not even you. You died in that cave.
Yeah, the person that she's been dragging along for the second leg of the journey has not been Bran at all. It's the three-eyed raven. She knows that now, and the person that she cared about, the person she believed in, and the person she was trying to protect no longer exists.
But the person she did protect, the three-eyed raven, needed help. That guy's a valuable dude. Yeah. And you don't want the three-eyed raven to die, then you lose. It's like having the record store guy die. You need the record store guy to tell you what names and stuff are on those old
then you got to go back to the two-eyed robin, and that's just... That thing sucks.
The two, and it's Robin from Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
He's got a stick. All right, so she's, this is, I didn't see this. I thought this scene was very powerful, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming, and poor lady, there she goes. She's gone. Takes her pancakes and gets the hell out of there. And of course, Bran has no idea about it. He's just thinking, how did I get such a big nose? Look at the size of that thing. Is that a nose or a sundial? Oh, got him, James. All right, so Horsey, that's Winterfell, and we figure out who this is because it's Arya, right? There she is.
We figure out who this is because it's Arya.
That's Arya. They showed her, and then I knew who it was. And so, I love Arya's getting past the guards moves. This is one of our. I think everybody likes some. Arya has to intimidate her way past some guards or whatever, which she did at King's Landing a time or two. The only thing in the kitchen you put your cock in is the liver.
I knew you wouldn't gloss over that one.
Yeah, the liver. Ugh. Liver is so gross.
So,
it's all veiny and
yeah, so these
nasty.
are the guards, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. These are the guards. We got, a fat guy and a skinny guy, which kind of sums up America.
Is it Laurel and Hardy?
Or Laurel and Hardy.
Who was, maybe it's them. Okay.
Yep.
No, I'm thinking of Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello.
That's who I'm trying
James
to think
and Hank. Classic comedy duo.
Mm-hmm.
You should see my belly, everybody. It looks like pretty standard belly. It's pretty normal. All right, so
they don't believe that she is who she says she is because they and everyone else believes that Arya Stark is long dead.
Fucking product placement.
Yes.
Snickers. Fuck off.
Yes.
Yes. Nobody thinks it's her. She's just.
It's actually a good thing you're not you when you're hungry. Those commercials for Snickers.
Mm-hmm. Why?
How she could always be someone else with a different face.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know what James is talking about, everybody. I don't know. I just said yeah because I hope it goes away soon. I'm sorry, James. Yeah. So Arya, I love her confidence. I love this actress.
Well, she's got every reason to be confident.
Hell yeah, she does. She will stab these bitches in their eyeballs before they can hit the ground, and they don't have any interest in her. They're just like, all right, you little loon, Hank.
Hank.
I was hoping I got Hank snorts. It's misspelled, but it's close enough. So yeah, Arya Stark's dead, dummy, and this is kind of
right. She doesn't know that these two people have long since been killed.
Right.
They are no longer there. These guys are newcomers in a sense. They don't even know who those people were.
Right. They don't have any idea. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. So she's like calling back to old people that aren't there anymore, and so anyway, she's super persistent, but they don't care. She's not persuasive. And finally she gets to the point and says, let's just get to the point here that I thought was good. So the last time, fuck off, Arya. I mean, fake Arya. So he starts going, fake Stark. Fake Stark, hashtag.
So she throws some
Make
logic
Winterfell great again. Yeah, fuck all that shit. But if... Oh, yeah, I like this line of logic. She's like, yeah, well, look, I'm not going to get far. Either I am or I'm not. If I'm not going to get anywhere. So
well, she says if you let me in and I'm not who I say I am, I won't get far.
Yeah, that's what I just like that. It's like, that's so logical. Even a dumb person has to be like, yeah, all right. But
yeah, you've got nothing to lose, basically.
They still guard her. Don't just let her wander around. But, he's like, okay, all right. Wait, it's a good thing I'm wearing a condom for my head. Do you think that's comfortable, James?
I don't think comfort is the point of those.
Yeah, probably not. All right. Okay, so off they let her in, but they're like, all right, you sit there. Okay. Then they have a fight about who's going to go get her. They're like kind of afraid. I don't know why they're so afraid. Just go up there and be like, hey, lady. I mean, hey, Sansa, I know this is weird, but there's this girl claiming to be your sister, and she's really persistent. She's
an authoritative figure. She's the lady of Winterfell, so it kind of makes sense that people are a little bit intimidated by her.
But Sansa isn't. Not that they could just go up and be super casual with her, show her the respect she deserves, but also, I don't think that she doesn't come off as like the, oh my god, Sansa's angry.
Well,
she should. Sansa has a lot of reasons to cut people. All right, so but this is an important shot. Seeing the dire wolf,
the sigil of the Stark family once again before Arya.
This is a sign of comfort.
She has not seen this for a very long time.
It's a sign of home. Very good for her to see that. So we do have a lot of heartwarming moments coming up here.
This whole episode is chock full of reunions.
And then, so this is very reunion-y. And the only thing that won't be reunionized is these things have been separated. All right, James, that was dumb. Okay. Because two halves of a deer and reunion, there's no unfucking that goat. So they, she's gone. She's the master of moving around, so she's totally gone. So all right, and these guys now they both end up having to explain to her. They're like, oh man, she doesn't seem to. She's like, okay, and then she sort of like, well, all right, I got an idea. And she's hanging out with the Sean Bean statue.
Yeah, the chocolate Sean Bean.
Chocolate Sean Bean. He's hollow on the inside.
And that's where they put the body.
It's the body's in there. They peel off little fingers of chocolate.
Every Easter they come in and crack off a little bit more of ice. Ice being his sword.
There's a Cadbury Schweppes egg at the bottom that squirts out it once a year. All right, so Arya and Sansa. Oh my God, big moment. We should celebrate. It was very understated, this whole sequence. They didn't really jump for joy.
Well, the thing
I
is
wanted to see some fireworks.
I think the whole point of that is that they're entirely different people than they were when they last knew each other. Yes. Sansa has been through a great ordeal. Arya has been through some horrific things as well.
Yeah, they both have had a tough time here. Yeah. It'd be funny if one of them was like, no, I've been great. I've been at a spa. I was just spending my dad's credit card. Where's Dad? Is Dad around? Newsflash. Anyway, finally the little smile breaks and they do go in for a hug. I was like, come on, you two. I'm going to start crying here real soon.
And they get each other caught up, though. Sansa's like, I discovered I hate marriage. And Arya's like, I discovered I have adamantium guts.
Yeah. Except when she hits an alley full of oranges. She goes rolling right down.
And Arya's like, I learned 3 things while I was away. What would that be?
Don't put your penis in a gas can.
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Oysters, clams, and cockles. My dad actually told me not to ever put your penis. He said he got gas on his penis once, and I was like, this is a little bit much for telling your 14-year-old son that. It's a little fucked up. I don't know. It's like, why would you pee in a gas can? If you're in a place where that's okay, just pee out. You could obviously pee anywhere.
My dad never had to tell me that.
He just was telling me how much it hurt, and I was like, I bet.
Oh my gosh.
I hope you weren't smoking at the time. All right. So anyway, you shouldn't run from the guards, and Arya goes, you should have better guards.
She said, I didn't run from them. You just need better guards.
That's right. James's was more accurate than me, but she's they're kind of adapting to the new status. Oh, you're Lady Stark, huh? Wow, that's pretty big. So this whole part about Jon.
Yeah, when Jon comes back, when he sees you, his heart will probably stop. She says that without realizing that his heart has stopped before.
Yeah, Jon's got.
It's a little insensitive. He'd be like, too soon.
We're not even sure if his heart works. Honestly, he might not even be beating anymore. But too soon. Oh. I like your Jon Snow name. But Arya and Jon have a very strong bond. They were the closest of the siblings, or at least between those two. He had needle forged for her and gave it to her. They had that very nice moment when he gave it to her before he left to go north, and so she hadn't seen him in forever, and so they're really close. And that's why she gives him one of these. Oh, she's thinking about her buddy Jon. She wants to see her brother.
Yeah.
Right. So then Sean Bean falls over and has his 24th death. Just explodes into
chocolate. The head
chocolate.
breaks off and his real head rolls out of it.
He has one final groan in him going, Arya. All right, should have been carved. Yeah, that's it. All right, they talk about it.
Yeah, everyone who ever knew his face is dead now. They say, but no, we aren't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So then Arya's like, I heard you killed Joffrey, huh? Is that true? She's like, I wish. She's like, yeah, me too. And then however long, he was always the first one on my list. And
so Sansa thinks this is a joke. She doesn't really understand that Arya is a cold-blooded killer now, that she has done horrific things in her past since her, separation from the Stark family.
But they've all been just.
Yeah.
I think you could probably debate that a little bit. But
Meryn Trant was such a good guy, though.
That was the Kingsguard guy. Right?
Yeah.
That she poked his eyes out.
Yeah, and then cut his throat.
Yeah. He was a real piece of shit.
Yes, he was.
So this is the list of people I'm going to kill, and Sansa's like, ha ha ha, oh, good one. I like that. That was a good one, Arya.
And he's like, no, seriously, I wear people's faces.
Yeah. No, literally. I'm wearing the old guy. Walder Frey's face.
Yeah, before I came here, I made Walder Frey eat his own family, then impersonated him and killed all of them.
Yeah, I have Walder Frey's face on my ass, and I shit out of his mouth.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
She'll go in and start doing Arya's laundry, and her case is just filled with faces.
Oh, let me get your laundry done for you, dear. You must be tired. And then just like... But she just doesn't even react. She just shakes them out like they're just underwear.
And she uses the wrong temperature of the water and all the faces shrink.
She doesn't use color safe, so the races get all mixed up.
So they're all White Walkers now.
Yeah, they're all bleached out.
They're all binos.
Okay. Oh, man. How come we aren't writing for this show, James? Come on. All right, so...
no one would watch it.
Yeah, well, somebody... I don't know. People say they like watching this. I'm always confused when people like what we do. It never fails to surprise me. I'm flattered.
I would think this would be more of like a forced torture interrogation tactic to make someone watch this.
I think most people's lives are horrible, and they seek ways to find relief from that via entertainment. And there's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of YouTube, and so this is a version of that. Maybe someone hates their job and they get to listen to this at their work, and they go, hey, we're listening to a couple of fuckfaces talk about Game of Thrones.
Do you think they're making pivot tables right now?
Pivot tables?
Doing VLOOKUPs and sum ifs.
Oh, is that Excel spreadsheet?
That's Excel mastery talk.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's why this universe started 14 billion years ago, so that you could work on pivot tables.
Yes.
But you need a paycheck, of course. I mean, we all do. I definitely do. I owe James some money, everybody. I'm sorry.
A Hank always repays his debts. A Hank.
A Hannister. It takes a little while, but I will. I always have.
I've grown fond of your interest payments.
In the version of back rubs. Oh, James, lucky day. Lucky week. All right, so now they're talking about the lives that they've been leading. There's a lot to be said. They don't say everything right away.
Yes, Sansa's my story has not been all that pleasant.
Yeah.
And Arya's like mine neither.
Yeah, they've been, seeing all kinds of violence, getting raped, killing people, fucking having wars and fights and stuff. It's been really terrible for both of them. But Sansa has gotten a little justice.
And she says, but our stories aren't over yet. Still, there's, one season left.
You're right. Totally. I couldn't think of anything funnier to say. Okay. So Bran's home too. This is great. They can find him out. So,
another reunion, which is great.
Yeah. Everybody's been looking forward to these Stark reunions for a while. So Bran got his wheelchair over there. What if it was like it's not where he wants to be? Someone just parked him there, like
I was thinking like this is the medieval version of watching TV, and this is a very boring show.
Yes.
Staring at a tree.
Staring at trees. Although it is one of the it's an above average tree. I like the tree. But it's probably where he feels most comfortable. This is like really strong Wi-Fi to him.
Yeah, but
he's got 5G connectivity right now.
To kind of go more into like the show though, this is the weirwood tree, right? And this is what the children of the forest used to see. They were sort of like almost like a surveillance camera for them through these things. They could see through these trees since the face is carved into them.
Right.
And since he's a three-eyed raven, perhaps he's seen something on this tree that we are not.
Well, and this is how he dials into the whole system.
Yeah.
Because there was a big weirwood tree above that where the old three-eyed raven was living, the guy that lived in the sticks on a ladder. So anyway, look at him. The kids are back. The sisters, the brother, and of course Bran. Is he excited? Oh yeah. Look at that face. Oh, look at him. That's like a guy getting his driver's license for the first time.
And bear in mind, he knows everything that Arya has done as well. He knows about the horrors that she's committed and the horrors she's endured.
So let me ask you this. Does he know, or does he have access to? Meaning, does he know everything everybody's ever done ever? Or if he wants, it's like he can look it up on the internet. Like he knows how to dial it in and like, okay, I'm going to check out Arya's past and I'm just going to touch the branch. And
I would think it'd be more like that because he hasn't had the powers for very long. He hasn't refined them. He hasn't honed them. So I think it's more like fragmented visions at this point. I don't think he has full mastery.
I agree. That seems about right. I can't imagine he just knows everything everybody's done no matter what. I think he can just tap into it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I would go straight to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire if that were the case.
Yeah. How do you think Biff Tannen made all his money?
Back to the Future.
Gambling book, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
The Farmer's Almanac.
The Farmer's Almanac. That's exactly it. All right, so there's his face. Come on, Bran. Fucking... God, it's frustrating. Anyway, looks like she just straddled him, doesn't it? It's just a bad angle. I know she didn't, but it just... all right. Okay, so I saw you at the Costco, and he goes, "You saw me."
Was I the only one when that line came up who heard Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Crossroads.
See you at the crossroads, so you don't get lonely.
Keep going.
Bum.
Yeah. Rock out, James.
Yep.
No, I thought about the Britney Spears film, which was fucking robbed from an Academy Award that year. Best technical editing ever. All right, you saw me. The Crossroads. What were the Crossroads? Is that where Brienne fought the Hound?
I'm not
feel like I don't know
sure
what the Crossroads were.
And was it where she met the Lannisters at that group, and she decided to turn around from King's Landing and come back to Winterfell?
That could be it.
I'm not quite sure. Hopefully, someone can clarify that for us.
Yeah, maybe somebody can clarify that. Yeah. Clarify.
I said clarify, which is not a word. Clarify.
Clarify.
Yes, clarify.
All right. Why did we? Okay. All right. So I see quite a lot now. It's like basically he did too much mushrooms. He's all fucked up.
Yeah.
So he's Cersei's on her list of names. So this is when Sansa realizes the names thing is real.
It's not a joke.
Oh God, look at her. She's a killer. She's a monster killer. But she's on her team, so she's okay. And it's all been just killing. So and Arya's like, yep, I'm even slicking my hair back like a pirate. You like my mullet? It's not really a mullet.
No, it's
Party
not.
In the back, James. Do you want to talk about mullets again? We've had arguments about mullets.
Let's leave that to Eugene in Walking Dead if we ever go back to that.
We will. It's great. I don't know. Maybe not. Who else is on your list? What else you got there, huh? Who else do you want to kill? And so then he pulls out his knife. This is the knife Littlefinger gave him. And he's like, and Arya finds out Littlefinger's there, and she's a little bit frustrated by that. She's like, really? Come on. But, he's on
I would imagine he's on the list, too. It'd be hard to believe that he's not, considering that he was a loyalist to Ned Stark in speech alone, and yet betrayed them.
I don't think I've ever heard her say Littlefinger's name, though.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think I've heard it either, but it would serve the reason that he would be.
It would make sense. It wouldn't be crazy if he was, but I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure. Because she has to know that he did.
We'll have to look
into
that.
She might not fully understand it. I don't know. So anyway, there's Bran. We'll get to the whole thing with this scene is that Bran gives her the knife, right?
Yeah, and Sansa reminds him that he doesn't do anything out of charity. If Littlefinger does anything for you, it's because he expects something even greater in return.
Right. Right. So they kind of like, okay, well, what's this guy up to? But he offers it to Arya, and it's wasted on the cripple. That's a good point.
Yeah, he says it doesn't matter that he wants something more from me because I don't even want it. It's wasted on the cripple. Here, you take it.
If I was Bran, I'd want a knife. What if you get attacked? You gotta need one final little like, oh yeah, I'll fight you from my wheelchair.
The three-eyed raven is probably beyond materialistic.
Oh really?
Wants and needs.
That's like saying the internet doesn't need a lock on the door, James.
No.
Well, because he's the internet. He's basically the internet. Is what the three-eyed raven is. All right, so people chattering, they're all walking in. And now they're going back inside. I don't know.
He's the Starknet.
Starknet. All right, so
Podrick and Brienne.
Yes. Texture.
Okay.
Starkitecture. That's really hard to say. Podrick and Brienne, they've always had good chemistry. I've always enjoyed watching these two. Podrick is he's got nuts in his cheeks.
Yes.
Fucking look at that
So
squirrel.
the oath that Brienne made to Lady Catelyn was to bring the two daughters back to Winterfell.
Right.
That has now happened, but Brienne is not taking credit for it because she essentially wasn't the one to do it. They came there on their own, on their own actually.
Yeah. Right. She tried pretty hard, but it never quite worked out. But she did get to cut Stannis' head off. So that's nice. So, all right, Dragon Stone. Look at that place, James. Vertical rocks. I like it. Always a good time. Walking along, Daenerys, Missandei. They're basically talking about the Unsullied. Oh, yeah, we'll hear from they're coming back. And Missandei is saying he'd better, which means she needs that guy to come back.
Yeah.
They had a little nice moment together. She goes, what did they do? And she goes, many things. He spelled the alphabet. And he's from one of those countries where the alphabet's 400 letters long. That's why I had 400 big O's.
I was thinking you would keep it clean, but you didn't.
What's not unclean about orgasms?
That was a very unsullied thing to say.
Well, this is
very sullied thing to say.
This is pretty sullied, James.
Yes.
Well, as a fan of women's orgasms, James, I can tell you they're not as clean as... Well,
okay.
All right, it's all gross. Everything's gross. Okay, we're all gross.
Can we get back to the dragons?
Not having orgasms is gross. You know what sweat is? It just comes out of your body. Anyway, the point is, she goes, "Oh yeah, really? You got to remember, this is a time when men didn't go down on women.
Over in a flash.
Men did not go down on women as much as we do nowadays because we have the internet now, and it's fun. Assuming she's
look, it's John.
Grateful, All right, so John, your Grace. Hello, it's me, John. And of course she's still going, oh, I gotta get that Grey Worm back. I gotta get his Grey Worm.
Oh, kidokies.
Well, tongues aren't gray, they're pink. Call them pink worm. It'll be okay, buddy. I promise you'll be fine. This show's about murdering pregnant women, okay? It's okay to talk about
That's what we need to get back to.
Eating out women. It's all right, so anyway, they have a nice relationship.
So John wants to show Daenerys something.
Final comment. It's good to have something to look forward to. I think everybody agrees to that.
Like the next scene.
Like egg rolls. I'm going to order some Chinese food.
John is taking Daenerys into the Dragonglass mines.
Yes.
He has discovered something.
I've been playing in my tree fort. Why don't you come and see what I've found?
Yes, since she gave him access to it, he has been exploring around trying to see if the legend of the Dragonglass beam beneath Dragonstone is true.
It's correct, and I love this beach. What a beautiful place. Huh? I'd like to move there. And then they walk into this thing, and look at that. There we go. And he takes her all the way pretty deep. They're doing some spelunking. And he shows her this cool room with all the obsidian, which is like, wow. They're really
Dragonglass.
That's called obsidian, right?
No. Obsidian is obsidian. Dragonglass is Dragonglass.
The fuck are you talking
Dragonglass is
about?
not real. Obsidian is real.
What do they use in the show to show Dragonglass?
I don't know.
Obsidian?
That doesn't mean that it's in the context of the show, it's not obsidian, though, is what I'm saying.
Obsidian is lightning, is formed by lightning when lightning hits the desert sand.
And this is formed with dragonfire, which is inherently different.
No, it's not. Lightning and dragonfire are both very hot.
Okay.
It's temperature that I'm talking about. Temperature and pressure and time. Shawshank Redemption. Look it up. Look it up.
Yes.
And geothermal processes. All right. So anyway, all this dragon... I can't say obsidian is everywhere, and it's a good find. They got a lot. They're gonna. And the point is, I think they should do arrowheads for arrows, spearheads for spears, and then grind it up into a fine powder for like when they're doing wrestling moves. You know, when they throw the sand in the other guy's face.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand, and they blow it though. off their palm, and it blasts them in the face like poison ivy.
No, what they really need to do is to use this to make fiberglass out of it, build houses for the the White Walkers.
Oh, yeah.
Let them move into it, and then eventually they will die from the asbestos of the asbestos. Is that it?
Asbestos.
From the dragon glass.
Yes.
It's the long plan, but it will work.
Small shards of glass getting into their lungs, they're fucked. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Oh, it's a great time to be alive, huh? Asbestos poisoning people, lead in the water. All right, so he showed her a bunch of cave art. Cool stuff. We got some circle-y shit. We got some spiral-y things. Maybe these are celestial bodies. Maybe. We don't really know. That looks like to be a little man right there, right? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like it all. Look at that.
I like that we theorized at the time that John was not down here looking for the glass. He was actually down here doodling, and this is his work.
Yeah. John just has busy fingers. He's just, I'm a little nervous. All right, so he it shows her more, the children of the forest. Somehow he knows that for some reason, but I don't think he's making it up. And yeah, look at all the drawings they did, man. Carvings, I guess maybe it's a better word. That one's look. It's like they trying to work out how to split up a pie. There's probably only 2 of them.
I thought you were going to go for butt crack, but you didn't.
How dare you, James? How dare you? That would be this one. See that hole? Let me do it again.
Looks like a one-wheeled car.
One-wheeled car. If it's balanced correctly, it probably would work. All right, so she was like, wow, trippy. It's like teenagers at the museum or something.
But the important thing is that Daenerys did not believe him about the children of the forest, about the White Walkers, about all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So this serves 2 purposes. One, it almost seems like it's moving them emotionally closer to one another, which I don't like, because the whole idea of a romance between these 2 characters is... I don't like it.
I like it.
Their aunt, uncle, it's kind of... I mean, aunt, nephew, not uncle.
Sure.
So it's a little weird from our current Western perspective, but I guess in Westeros it wouldn't be the same thing, actually,
Or
but it looks like...
As you dubbed it, Incesteros.
Yes, Incesteros is what it would be. But at the same time, he is going to show her something that's going to help to cement his position that the story that he's been telling is true, and there's some gravity and weight behind this to hopefully to sway her to help him.
It lends a lot of credence to his story that he needs her to believe in order to get her to help him. And I think they should hook up because they're both hot.
Right? It adds a lot of credence in this cave, which is outside of Clearwater, and he's going to talk about his revival.
Yes. Nicely done.
Yeah, terribly done.
I was like, I better listen to this one because I'm not. I think he's.
No,
all right,
so and it was bullcrap.
No, that was great. I liked it. It was totally worthy of our channel.
So
they're here together. So it's like she wants to know if the men came after her. He's like, no, they were here together. There's the men because they're taller and they have a magic 8 ball for some reason, and these must be the children.
That's the Death Star.
That's the Death. This one right here.
Yes.
Yeah. They're working on it. They got knives, or maybe this is the children because they're the ones that had the knives.
Well, I think the children are the small ones behind them.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
And you can tell these guys are armored.
Oh yeah, I guess that is like armored, isn't it? Yeah, I mean by the knife thing, I just meant when she stabs the dude to create the Night King with that like blade of dragon glass or whatever the fuck it was. I don't think it was it dragon? I don't know. Well, anyway, so they show him there. They're having a nice time. Look at this guy. This guy's going, oh, I think someone's drawing us. Let's hold still. Just don't move and it'll go away. Doing what? Fighting each other? No. Oh no, Danny. They weren't fighting each other. This is a big reveal. A little bit silly, but so were all those old drawings. No, they're fighting the White Walkers.
And this one, we were saying, how does she know that John didn't draw these on the wall before she came in there?
John could have been in here scribbling this crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have chalk on his fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although they're carved out. I think they're etchings more than drawn.
Well, yeah. He was. Who knows how long he was down here?
Yeah. What if John like coughs up a bunch of blue pills or a bunch of blue rocks or something or whatever the hell causes them? So anyway, these are funny looking guys, aren't they? Yeah.
Obviously, White Walkers.
They got the king. He's got the little king spikes.
That's not the Night King. He has a beard. Night King never had a beard.
Maybe that's White Walker Santa. You ever think about that? Fox News says Santa's white. Just might as well be a White Walker.
I believe. What was it? It was
the, ho ho ho!
It was the woman who
your baby and turn it into my friend.
It's the woman who's now on like MSNBC.com.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly.
NBC.
Yeah. NBC. Yeah. Or MSNBC. Same thing.
Well, kind of. Not really.
Yeah. They're same parent company.
They're cousins. Yeah, for sure. All right. So what if James and I got into like a 20-minute fight about that? That would have been weird. All right. So anyway, these are hilarious drawings. I don't know why they're just funny. Just love the simplistic nature.
They're a lot more detailed than other ones because it needs to paint a picture for Daenerys so that she knows what they're really going up against.
Right.
So it necessitated a little bit more detail.
Yes, totally. Yeah, I would like to see what they rejected. like in the art department, what designs they came up with. That would be kind of funny. So anyway, he's basically explaining like, yeah, they they got together, the children, the men, they they fought the White Walkers, and you and I got to be the children and the men ourselves. I'll be the children, you be the man. I know it's a little confusing, and then we will fight them off, right? And so she's taking it in though. Look at that guy. Look, you know his beard stinks. You know the old men with their gross yellow beards. I don't think
it would stink because it's frozen.
Oh yeah, good thinking. Yeah, you're totally right. All right, especially if he's hanging out with Grey Worm. Wink. All right. Oh, that went. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Coughed up. Something hit me. All right. You know when it's like it's a loogie, but it doesn't leave your mouth.
No.
All right. So there she goes, and she's like, "All right, okay, all right, you handsome devil, you." And he's like, "Yes, I don't think I can." She tells him to bend the knee, right? Did I get past that
she
part?
says, "You don't think you can defeat them without my help."
Oh, yeah.
And he says, "No, I don't think I can."
Right.
Which is why he's begging her to reconsider and fight for him against the northern threat. And she says, "Yes, I will fight for you against the northern threat, but only if you bend a knee."
When you bend the knee.
Or the knee, yes.
Yeah. And she's moving closer to him, though, getting a little intimate.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of a romance vibe going on here. I can't deny it. I don't like it, but I can't deny it.
You can't deny it. It's two people. It's like the Olympic Village. It's what attractive young people do.
I just really hope that at some point they start a romance and then someone comes by and says, "Oh, look at this family tree here." Then they'll just turn and throw up into the ocean.
Well, the family tree would be just like gnarled like logs, just like interweaving and crossing over.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know what? If my family members were hot, I'd try to fuck them.
That is probably something you shouldn't put on the internet.
That's the opening line. Am I okay, cute? That's one of my hack jokes. I don't want to say it again. But all right. So this whole thing about like that my people would never accept a Southern leader. It's just not going to work. And she's like, they will if their king does. They chose you to lead them. She made a good point. Is their survival more important than your pride, buddy? Huh?
And that, I mean, that's the same reason why America will never have a president being Larry the Cable Guy. No one wants a Southern leader.
No one wants a Southern leader. No, with his Prilosec commercials, it's like, hey, back off there, you with your heartburn. All right. But John is not a prideful. I mean, he is, and he's not though. He's not like that's his driving motivation. He's always done the practical thing, even if it puts his leadership in question at a bunch of men. It got him killed.
Yes,
I mean,
it did.
His decision making is very sound, I think.
Pretty much every Stark man has been killed because of his loyalty to morality.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, but
the only difference is, you know, Jon Snow came back.
Yeah, he was lucky to have the Red Lady around him, right? So she's like, this is a persuasive argument, but in his context, I'm circling a mouse over this guy. It's not as accurate, but whatever, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree with her. It's not simply his pride, it's the trust that has been put in him by the Lords of the North.
Yeah, like he needs it. He'll do whatever will work, and he's like, it won't work. Like they won't trust it, that they're not gonna. The Northern dudes are kind of fed up with the Southern rulers, and especially you freaking foreigner. Get out of here. Even though she's not, but all her buddies are.
Yeah.
All right, so they walk out of the cave looking pretty good, and Tyrion and Varys are standing there. Tyrion's hands are cold, either that or he's working out.
No, that's not Tyrion.
Which one is that?
That's Varys.
Oh, that's Varys.
And his fingernail polish is still drying.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's playing third string quarterback. He's got to keep his hands warm.
Yeah.
But Tyrion looking a little bit tired. Maybe he's had a tough morning or something. His hair's down, not as chipper as it usually is. But we took Castle Rock. Good news.
Always open with the good news.
Yes.
Until you learn that, oh, we walked right into the enemy's traps. My advice to you was flawed. All your allies are dead or captured. Whoops.
So they didn't even show him explaining it. They just show her storming off in a little bit of a huff. Going, oh man. And Varys is going, my hands are just nice and toasty in here. And my polish is almost dry.
And now they're going to call Daenerys Beach Stormer.
Beach Stormer. The stormer of beaches. The picker-upper of sandy toes. Sand is hard to pick up with your toes. They've been taking me while I've been... So she's pissed. She's like, what the fuck? I have these dragons. Our armies are in trouble. We lost all of our dudes. She's just kind of running down her situation. And I am going to go cross hell.
Tyrion is still trying to tell her, my plan is the right plan. We need to stick with it. And she's like, your plan has lost us Dorne, the Iron Island, and the Reach.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she questions his loyalty by saying, perhaps you don't even want to hurt your family, the Lannisters. Is this why you're sabotaging my plans? Losing me my allies and my, advantages?
That is no good. You don't want to hear that. I like her brooch. What is this, a brooch or is it a sash?
I wouldn't call a brooch is typically on the neckline down.
Oh, like from under here?
Yeah.
Somewhere around here?
I believe so.
I think it's a sash. It's holding up her cape.
Yeah.
And she looks like Lando Calrissian from behind. You know, he has that blue, doesn't he have like a blue jacket? All right, sorry everybody. Perhaps you don't want to hurt them after. Okay, we got that. Now the dragons are flying around, looking like kites out in the ocean, and she's like, all right, no more of this clever shit. I'm just gonna go burn them up. I'm gonna fly the dragon to the Red Queen, and why, you know, she's
the Red Keep.
The Red, what did I say, Red Queen?
Yes.
Red Queen.
She's gonna go to a Wonderland. She's gonna take out the Queen of Hearts.
The Red Queep. And she asks Jon Snow though, and she's like, "What would you?" And you know, she's like, "I'm losing, dude."
And this is an important moment. She looks at him as an equal, as someone of equal tactician. That's not a word.
Yeah, it
of
is.
equal tactical knowledge.
Yeah.
And asks for his advice.
Right.
A queen to a king.
And he's thoughtful. He and Arya have the same hair. Do you ever notice that? I just
No.
noticed it. Right, a queen to a king, and you know, he basically explains, "That's amazing. You're obviously a very special person. You did this crazy shit with the dragons. Look at this. Everybody thinks you're awesome. But if you melt the castles and burn everybody down, you're not going to ever have time. You're just more of the same evil stuff. Everybody
Yeah, you're going to
hates."
harken back to the history of the Targaryens, and you're going to rule from fear, which is what Cersei's doing now. Is that what you really want?
Right, exactly. And she's like, "Oh, okay, fine." And then I was really hoping a shark would leap out of the ocean and grab that dragon. Just a big monster shark just grabs it, takes it right down, and she goes, "Oh, this day." All right, so anyway, Podrick and Brienne are having a little training fight. Of course, Brienne's kicking his ass. Clink, clink, clink. Podrick, ow, crunch, crunch. Oh, Podrick ends up on the ground a bunch of times. He's still never going to beat her, but you know, they're getting better.
He's always like, you ever play like a video game that's set in medieval times, and your starting suit of armor is always a piece of crap? I feel like Podrick's been wearing the starter armor the entire series.
Yeah, he
studded leather.
Yeah, that studded red leather sort of thing that he had on when he was sent away to be Brienne's squire. Yeah, but you know, she's taught him a lot. Taught him how to ride horses, how to swing a sword around. And so anyway, Arya's approaching. She's got Jon Snow hair right there, and they're swinging, clink clink. And so then she comes in all confident and cool.
And let's not forget the new outfit she's got is pretty darn awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I know it's a dress, but I'd wear that.
I'd wear that, sure. Why not? It's got boots. It's got the dress thing. It's got the arm, shoulder cover things. Pauldrons. There's a whole bunch. Greaves. Are those gloves?
No.
Glaives?
No.
What?
Greaves go on your legs.
Oh, on your legs. Okay.
On the bottom part of your legs.
James looked at me like I had just called his mom a whore, which I would never do. I shouldn't even have put that out there like that. That was awkward. I'm sorry. Oh, man. My mom's a whore, James.
No.
There you go. Maybe I should take that part out. All right, so Arya steps in and she's like, you know, I like her confidence. It's a little off-putting. I don't like people that are overly confident, but she's earned it.
But let's go back a little bit. The last time that Brienne... No, back in contextually. The last time that Brienne and Arya encountered each other was in... what was it, the Ari? Or what was that area around...
well, where the Hound and Brienne had that fight.
Yes.
I don't know the area. They were north of the Ari, area.
Yeah, because they had just left because she found out that her aunt, who lived there, the sister of her mother, Catelyn Stark, had been killed by, she didn't know it was Littlefinger, but she fell through the moon door. So the Hound was going to sell Arya back to her aunt, but when that plan fell through, they continued away from that particular area, and they just so happened to run into Brienne, who was tasked to bring back Arya to Winterfell at the time. So she and the Hound got into a scuffle. She overpowers the Hound, throws him down a cliff. He breaks his leg. He's assumed to be dead, but Arya runs away on her own. So
yeah, Arya leaves him to a grisly death by not killing him.
Arya had no intention of going with Brienne.
Right.
And now here they are again.
Here they are again.
And it's sort of like at that time Arya was like level 5 and Brienne was 50, and now Arya's level 80 and Brienne's 51. A lot has changed.
Yeah, that's well said. That's funny. Yeah, Arya's a real badass now.
She's been grinding XP
So she and her, they were never antagonistic. Arya didn't know that she could trust her when she came across her. Because her whole story would be different had she gone with Brienne at that time. So anyway, yeah. And just to clarify, you said fell through the moon door.
She was pushed.
Yeah. Just for the commenters, because they're going to be like, hey, James, she wasn't pushed.
Are you sure? I could have sworn I saw that Littlefinger pushed her through the moon door.
You might have. I don't know. I just heard you say fell through, and I just want. I'm not.
Are you sure I didn't say winter fell through you?
Winter fell through you.
Yes.
And then it fell through the plan. Okay, sorry. Sansa's doing some business here, but then she notices Arya and Brienne having their little moment down here, and so Arya, of course, She's so funny.
Well, Arya says she wants to spar with someone, and she wants to spar with Brienne. And Brienne says, like, "Oh, go find the other guy to spar with." And he goes, "I don't want to spar with him. He didn't beat the Hound. I want to spar with you."
Yes. So she pulls out the little needle, and she's like, "Oh, no, my lady, it's too small. Don't worry." I love that line. "I won't cut you."
Yeah.
And Brienne's like, "Oh, okay."
So Arya is basically a water dancer trained by Syrio Forel in King's Landing. She is, what's the best way? She's a finesse fighter.
Yeah.
She's an assassin.
She's high agility.
Yes, whereas Brienne is like an overpowering strength thug.
Yes, Brienne's a brute.
Yes.
And Arya's a high dexterity, high agility.
Yes.
They both have good stamina, though.
And despite the fact that, I mean...
Brienne has terrible barter skills.
Yeah, you pointed out that the sword that Brienne is using is most likely a dull sparring sword.
Yeah.
But it does seem like the intensity with which she's swinging it and trying to fight would probably kill someone.
Yes, I mean, yeah, you're a super strong warrior swinging a frickin' metal blade.
Yeah, that is not a pool noodle.
Even dull, it's going to do a shit ton of damage if it connects.
And Arya's sword is clearly not dull.
No, look, it's got a couple of nicks nicked out of it. But Arya is like dodging and bobbing and weaving, and she's amazing, and she moves around. But like Brienne's doing full-on swings here. Like these are crazy. It's like, what are you? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they took all kinds of bumps and bruises when they did this kind of training and stuff, but it was just nuts. But Arya keeps getting these cool. I thought this action was great. I thought the choreography was really well done.
It shows that they're pretty much equals in their effectiveness of combat, which is saying a lot compared to Brienne.
Yeah. Oh, hugely. And this shows everybody that's seeing it. Not that there's a big crowd gathered or anything, but Sansa sees it. Look at that face. But yeah, it was pretty intense. So
yeah, and Sansa's watching and Littlefinger's watching, and they're both regretting where they put their experience points because they're jealous of her. She's like, "Oh, she put all hers into combat. I put mine into speechcraft and Sansa, barter, and Sansa put hers into falling off walls.
Well, survivalness, toughness,
divorce skills.
Yeah, well, yeah. She's had to divorce a bunch of dudes, but they're all assholes. Yeah. She's a good ruler. She's pretty even round. She's not a fighter though. She doesn't have
but in terms of coolness, she's like maybe a 2 out of 10. Arya's about a 9 out of 10.
Sure, but Sansa's an administrator now. She's just she's a government head of bureaucracy type of person now. But she hates it. She doesn't like it either. She's like, this job. But anyway, she kicks her. Arya kicks Arya down.
No, Brienne kicks Arya.
I got it wrong there. But Brienne kicks Arya down. And,
he said Arya kicks Arya down.
Well, don't we all beat up ourselves a little bit, huh? A little bit. And of course, she bounces right back up and cling.
No, she doesn't just bounce up. She does like a ninja move back up, which was freaking amazing.
It was really cool. It was like off to the side too.
And it almost looks as though she did it herself. That it wasn't a stunt double. It wasn't a special effect. I bought it.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing. Can you do one? You want to do one for me right now?
If you like put harnesses and pulleys and ropes on me, I could.
And have an ambulance standing by. So cling, cling, clang, cling. Arya has she's not even breaking a sweat. This is how they end though. What a great shot.
And look at the both of their face. It's like, oh yes, clearly a dull sword. You can tell.
Totally dull. But they're like, okay. Right.
But it's like mutual respect, admiration, the thrill of the fight. It's an important scene.
Yeah, James and I do this with containers of Del Taco nacho platters, and then we exhale. And there's Podrick just standing around going, oh wow, okay. Sansa and Littlefinger.
Yes, they were watching the whole time.
They were up there in that shot. I didn't see that.
It'd be funny if one of them just fell through the boards.
Just crunch.
And no one acknowledges it.
It's just like their coat gets snagged on a piece of wood and they're just like hanging from it, swaying back and forth.
It would also be really great if, like, in the gravity of this show, like for what it is, for a boom mic to pop down.
Oh yeah, I could animate that. I'm not gonna say it too, but yeah, that would be funny. So anyway, Arya puts her thing away. Her knife, and Brienne's like, "Oh, where'd you learn all that shit?" Oh yeah, this is a great line.
Best line of the episode.
Yeah, who taught you how to do that? No one.
So she's not lying.
Great answer. It's so true. It gives
no
away
one
no
else
information.
knows what it means.
Right. I like that. So that's where she learned. She should have said Serial Pharrell though. That guy was
Cereal.
Same difference. Cereals. Who cares? It's all the. All right.
And she still needs to take the ring to Mount Doom.
Yes, that's right. This ring here.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a nice necklace. Look, she puts it on. It's got a necklace with a hoop on the end of it. She could, in a pinch, take it off, throw it in a pond, and retrieve a golf ball. All right, so there she goes, and Brienne. They see Sansa. Then Littlefinger and her have a little bit of a moment. He kind of gives her like that kind of respectful old man nod. Okay, girl, all right.
It's like, yes, you could kill me.
Yeah, I'll back off. Jesus Christ, you're like a mosquito with a giant nose tube. What do they call it? Injector, needle.
Proboscis.
Proboscis. Needles have that
Giant nose tube.
Yeah, mosquitoes. They have that big nose tube. The thing they drink out of.
Yes.
Yeah. My neighbor explained to me that when fleas bite you, and then you start scratching it, they've actually taken a shit right near their bite, and when you scratch the flea bite, the shit gets inside the bite hole, and that's what causes you to get like a worse itching thing. So you're rubbing the flea poop into your hole. Horrible. My neighbor told me that. We've had fleas at our house here, everybody. You guys in our building, we have like a bunch of units, and the garbage wasn't taken. Okay, so they're gone now. I never expected to have fleas again since I was a kid. All right, so what do you think of her? So he's like, who are you talking about? I think she has a good heart. I've noticed you staring at her good heart. And by that I'm referring to her supple, ample breasts.
An allusion to a budding romance between Daenerys and Jon again, which, again, don't like it, but can't ignore it.
And as everybody knows, the way a man expresses his interest in a woman is by objectifying the globules of fat that hang off her chest.
Well, Davos does. John's being practical, saying there's no time for that. This is not something I'm concerned with.
She and I appreciated some art together. You know, I read it on OkCupid. Take a woman to the art museum. They love it. Pretend like you're sophisticated, and hopefully she'll have sex with you.
I feel like we need, instead of a swear jar, we need an OkCupid jar.
I know, I say it too much. I hate it when I go back to the old hits.
No, I like it.
I could say Tinder. Would that make you better, letter? How about MySpace?
Ooh.
Nobody ever dated on that. Just
Ashley Madison.
People actually did. Yeah, no, they kicked me off of that. They didn't believe I was a woman.
Because you weren't married already?
Yeah. I was like, that's why I'm here. All right, so I saw the Night King Davos. I looked into his eyes.
The Night King wasn't named Davos.
He's prettier. He's the one I love. He's the one I want to do that thing with my tongue, and then he gets frostbite on his
tongues get stuck together.
Yeah, their tongues
like the pole scene in
yeah, I was gonna say like Ralphie.
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story.
It wasn't Ralphie that got his tongue stuck.
And then a dragon has to come by and use dragon fire to melt the tongues.
You know how they actually did that thing? The kid actually did get stuck when they were filming it, but they actually used like a suction thing in the tube. Cut a little hole in there, and it was like a little vacuum cleaner reverse. Well, reverse, but it was pulling his tongue in. But he did actually get stuck.
To a real cold pipe?
Yes.
Because he tried to...
It went wrong.
Oh, no. Yeah, I feel like that would peel off some skin and fucking really mess up your tongue. Yeah, for sure. All right, so we don't have that many men. 10,000 or less. I don't know why I'm still doing the words. Fewer. What? Speaking of good hearts, Miss Sunday of Na.
I thought that was like gunpowder explosion or something when I first saw it. I was like, oh, God, well, I don't remember that.
Like a flak charge going off in the air?
No. It's Miss Sunday.
Sunday. There she is. I love Miss... God, man, she is just... We'll get to it. Anyway. No, that doesn't sound right. I don't know what they're saying there. They're saying something about some shit. Oh yeah, King John. What do you call him?
King Snow, King John. Doesn't sound right. They're trying to find like a formal name for him now that he's has kingship
by now. But anyway,
there hasn't been a lot of time to kind of ponder such things.
No, that's true.
But she's questioning why his name is different if he was the son of of Eddard Stark. Why are you called Snow? And he introduces the concept of being born out of wedlock and how you take a different name when you're of a lower social status. And she goes, I don't understand that because there's no concept of marriage where I'm from.
Right.
So in Narth, they don't have that. So I don't see you as a lesser person, nor should you see yourself as a lesser person.
Yeah, they just have slaves and owners.
Yeah, and then they go into the whole thing about slavery and why her origins as a slave, how she was bought by Daenerys from her prior master, and he's saying, well, then you're still a slave to Daenerys. And she says...
Oh, well, she goes, I serve her out of my own volition. I'm here on my own. And he goes, what if you wanted to leave? Would you be allowed? And she's right there. And then she would give me a ship and wish me good fortune. I'd be on my way. But he's kind of making her have maybe a little doubt about it. Like,
I can't remember. Did I call it Narth? It's Nath.
Nath? I don't know.
Whatever.
Let me just back up a little. I'm going to jump back a few screenshots here just to John saying I'm a bastard. Not a good explanation, John. You know she's a foreigner. You know she doesn't know what the snow is. She's not asking. Like, I think he never explained.
The thing to remember, though, John is not a diplomat. He grew up in the North. He doesn't understand different cultures, different people. He's a good person, but he doesn't have the kind of worldly knowledge that a leader needs to have. He's still learning and growing into his own role.
Yeah, fair point. He has done some negotiating in some tense situations with like Mance and you know the command what are they called, the Crows, the rest of his buddies up at Castle Black. All I'm saying though is the answer is, well, here in Westeros, those whose mother and fathers aren't married are called bastards. That's what he didn't say. My mother and father weren't married. Like that sort of explains it.
Yeah,
I get frustrated when people don't answer clearly what the hell they're trying to say. Coming from me, that says a lot because I thought it was
pretty clear though. I mean, the line right afterwards was,
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily explain why his last name is Snow. I mean,
It's
what's missing is here in our world, Westeros, people whose mothers and fathers aren't married are given a name that denotes that they're a bastard.
I think Missandei is smart enough to figure it out.
Of course she is. She's plenty smart enough. But yeah, anyway, all right, getting back to it. Where was I anyway? I think that one there. She's so pretty. She's just magnificent. James, we should clone her, put her on a gold record, and send it out into space. As a representation of humanity's best.
Well, then when the aliens get here, they're going to be very disappointed to find out the rest of us don't look like that.
No, yeah, they'll come by and be like, oh, they look like Hank and James.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, sorry, James. I didn't mean to loop you into that.
Well, I sure as heck don't look like her.
I wish you did.
Until I can steal her face and...
Until you turn into Arya. All right, so... or him. I'd like to look like this handsome devil, huh? Scars and hair? Come on, he's got everything women like. She's not our queen because she's the daughter. She's the queen we chose. Okay, so this is all. Oh yeah.
And then Davos has a great line.
Oh yeah. Will you forgive me if I switch sides?
Yeah.
He's basically
saying she's very persuasive.
I'm into it. I like this passion. So ding ding ding, we got a bell. Hey, look, somebody's here. Who could it be? It's a holdout from the Yara's old fleet. Remember those old sad sacks of shit?
They did say like 1 or 2 ships got away, and I assume one circled back to pick up Theon and his worthless crap out of the water. But bear in mind, the last time that Jon and Theon had any sort of knowledge of one another, aside from the fact that Sansa told him that Theon helped her escape from Winterfell, he was hearing of the death of his brothers at the hand of Theon, who went back to sack Winterfell when he was away in order to appease his father.
That's right.
His father being the Greyjoy father, not Stark or Ed Stark or Ned Stark, Eddard Stark.
Right. The Greyjoy guy, not his host.
Yeah. So Jon has no reason to care what happens to Theon aside from...
Look at Sir Davos. Oh, what's over there? What's over there?
Looks like the Dothraki is like pulling a lever.
Yeah, he is. Like, and now I will release the Fountain of Spree. And then a bunch of sprees shoot out of a fountain. Ding! No, sprees are in my eyes. All right, sorry, I don't know why. Okay, but this is an odd encounter. I don't think Theon or Jon expected either one of them to show up.
And I think Theon is probably the most horrified of the two. But he's like, "Oh crap, he's gonna kill me."
Yeah, like of all the people he wants to see is a guy whose family who thinks he murdered his whole family and took away his whole legacy. Jon walks right up. Theon's guys aren't like real protective. They actually kind of gave him a bunch of grief when they fished him out of the water.
I don't think Theon's guys care much for Theon.
No, not at all. Not at all. And so Jon gets in his face, and they kind of have Jon.
And they even know that he let Yar get captured.
Right. Yeah. That's
the honorable thing to do would have been to sacrifice yourself in an attempt to save her.
I still think that's bullshit.
In the eyes of the Ironborn.
Yes, in their eyes. Yeah. No, he lost honor, but he's alive.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of sums up my life. Is she all right? So he gets into Sansa, he grabs him, and Jon just not. So he's basically saying, because you helped her escape Winterfell, I'm letting you go, bitch.
Well, I'm not gonna kill you.
I'm not gonna kill you. Yeah, well, that's what I mean by that. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So we heard your uncle attacked your fleet, and turns out Euron has Yara. I'm doing a terrible job explaining what's going on.
He's saying that he's coming back to Dragonstone for the sole purpose of asking the Queen, Daenerys, for help in recovering his sister and defeating Euron's fleet.
Correct. Right. And so then they stare at each other a little more. And where did she go?
He said the Queen's not here.
Sorry, buddy, the Queen's gone. And then right at this moment, I saw it cuts to this, and I go. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of a spoiler here, sort of. Not really, but people who have already seen the episode, I go, why doesn't she just burn up Jaime? Because as if I figured it out. But obviously I was guided by the show, cutting from where is she to, whole nother setting. So obviously she's coming here soon. But why not take the dragons, fly them over, look for the commander, figure out which are the assholes who sit on horses from a distance looking at the field, and then go burn up the dudes on the horses.
Well, she'd originally posed a proposal saying that she's going to fly out and find Euron's fleet and burn them, but she was dissuaded from doing that because they said that you don't know where the fleet is, it could be fragmented, you might not even find them flying around for weeks on end. But when it comes to the Lannister army, they do have a good idea of where they would be. They're terrestrial, they're traveling across land, not as hard to conceal.
You're right. She does that, yeah. I'm just saying, burn the dudes on the horses. That's my whole point. You kill the leaders, man. And so, all right, so these guys are all kind of milling around doing their thing.
Yeah, so they're basically getting all the provisions from the Reach.
This is one of those spotted horses, James, who we like so much.
They're getting all the grain, all the food and everything. They're going to bring it back to King's Landing, just in the same way that Winterfell is doing the same thing, gathering all the supplies from the surrounding areas.
Correct.
So when the hard winter comes, when the war comes, people will flee to the centralized area, and they'll be able to withstand the long winter and the war.
Right. And this guy back here, he's going, do you think I'll ever get my eyebrows separated?
Yes, and that's Ed Sheeran behind him.
Ed Sheeran right there, you think that is?
No, it's not.
He's singing, oh, I'm beautiful with my voice. It's luckily, because otherwise I look like a regular guy. All right, so yeah, they're this is not prep mode, though. These dudes are not battle ready. That's
no, I mean, they just sacked the High Garden. They killed the Tyrells. They're,
as we like to say at Sunday school, James, totes.
Yes.
So check out the bow this guy's holding. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like a good bow. And they're going, look at our man.
I think this is the moment, somewhere in this scene, where they have that funny moment between Bronn and Dickon.
Yeah, or somewhere, right, yeah. But I didn't realize he says all the gold safely through... Okay, so this answers some questions we had
because
later.
I was thinking at the time that the gold would not have made it to King's Landing based on something else we're going to see a little bit later on.
Soon, yeah.
I had missed this line, but I'm glad this was captured in the screenshot because it does clarify a lot.
Totally clarifies a lot.
Which
it also tells us they're closer to King's Landing than we thought.
So the debt has been paid to the Iron Bank. That did not fall through.
All right, so yeah, they did get that.
Unless you missed a screenshot that said, I'll feel better once.
Yeah.
All the gold safely through the King's...
Or if the next line is something someone would say to throw off James and Hank's YouTube channel
But
video.
The fact that the A is capitalized means that this is not part of a sentence, this is a complete thought. So it seems as though what Randall Tarley is saying is that all the gold is safely through the gates of King's Landing.
Correct.
I will go with that.
I agree. You and I are who's that smart guy, that English dude? Sherlock Holmes. And his buddy Watson. All right, good. All right, great. And so, I don't know. But they're talking about logistics, getting somewhere. Tail will never be able to reinforce in time. So they're stretched out. I think that's what's going on. Flogging. So they're basically just doing their whole how do we get our troops to where we want them to be, right?
Yeah.
I'm making this up. I probably spaced out for a while watching this. So now get on this thing. We got to get going. So they do have all these supplies. I think these are the spoils of war, I assume, right? Like probably big jugs of olive oil.
Sure.
Wine.
And here's the great thing.
No, they make wine. Their whole thing is wine.
Where he says his name and Bronn laughs at it.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
Yes. We referred to that earlier. Dickon. He goes, which is so immature.
Which makes me love Bronn again.
Yeah.
I was getting a little sick of him early in the episode, but he's back.
Yeah, it gives him a nice little... His name makes me think of the tube that men have on their front part.
Alrighty.
The tube. For pointing at stuff.
I hear you fought bravely at High Garden. But basically he starts saying that the battle was glorious, but Jaime has been through enough battles to realize when someone is lying to him. He says, your father's not here, be honest with me. And he says, honestly, for as long as I know, we pledged loyalty to House Tyrell. The men that we killed were good men who didn't deserve to die. I hunted with them, I knew some of them. But Jaime said it had to happen. They chose to betray the Lannisters to support the Targaryen girl and the Dothraki horde. So this is something that had to happen. This is the way of the world. This is the rules of war. Mm-hmm. And then he says, I didn't expect it to smell that way. And then Bronn reminds him that people release their bowels when they die, and he learned that when he was 5.
Men shit themselves when they die?
Yes, they
Surprised you didn't know that already. I learned it when I was 5.
He's Irish now?
I don't know. Where be Lucky Charms? I'm Bronn. This guy also goes, and how did I get such a small head? Why is my head so small?
I think his armor is a little bit... It makes his shoulders look way bigger.
Are my shoulders big or is my head small?
I noticed that too.
It's obviously the armor. But he does look like... Sometimes you see those dudes and they're just like those big wide shoulder guys and they have tiny heads. And their heads aren't actually tiny. It's just they're out of proportion. It's like someone scaled up the wrong game character creation thing. All right, so... Anyway, men do poop when they die, which is funny.
And I'm sure everyone already knows this, but that guy is... Dickon Tarley, who is the brother of
Sam's brother,
and who is the son of Randall Tarley.
Correct. So he's an up-and-comer. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He's part of his dad is allied with the Lannisters right now. You know, he's the handsome, healthy one, not like that big tub of shit fucking Sam. All right, listen. What is that? I hear something. And by the way, you start hearing dogs going, roof, roof.
Yeah, so Jaime reaches in and brings out his golden ear so he can hear better.
So, like one of those tubes that they put fruit in around Thanksgiving.
A cornucopia.
Yeah, that's the one. Distant hoofbeats approaching. James, we got something coming.
Wait, go back.
All right.
Was his ear pierced?
Of course. Oh my!
Was
It could be a mole.
Was that something that was done back then to men?
It's potentially just a mole.
Well, there goes my immersion.
Yeah. Well, luckily he's not still wearing a diamond stud. That would be really distracting. Or you know what? The worst earrings are the ones that wiggle but they never stop, like a cross or like a feather, just never stops moving because you can't really hold your head that still. All right, that's the kind I wear on my nipples.
That's what pirates would wear.
Okay, so anyway, all the troops are spread out, not doing much, or they're just doing their thing, their troop thing. And Jamie realizes that danger is imminent. Spears and shields, get lowered now. They're all running. Oh, grab! So they grab their pile of shields up, and they all start lining up, and that's getting. Oh man!
And we know Randall Tarley is a very, very accomplished general in a sense that he was the one who was the only one to ever defeat Robert Baratheon at a game of battle.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
Not one-on-one in combat, as
I got in trouble for speaking with confidence when I shouldn't have been.
And he once slapped a horse so hard rubies fell out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I remember you said that.
I slapped a horse?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that sounds
they were in the river. And
yeah, it sounds like something I would say. They're rubies. They fell on, the whole thing is go to the river and you'll find rubies in the river if you're lucky. All right, so... oh no! This guy's got red hair. I don't know.
Yeah, so they were not prepared for battle. This is something they're trying to scramble to get ready really soon. They were out here just simply collecting food from the Reach for the rest of the kingdom to enjoy at King's Landing. But now they're being attacked by what seems to be the Dothraki. I
think everybody was pretty clear, and I thought this shot was really cool. So the way this perspective, like you don't really know how many men will fit across the screen, right? Like you think, like, oh, I figured they'd be a little bit small and they'd kind of come across pretty quickly.
Would have been
but
hilarious,
they were so far away. Like you start just so go ahead.
It would have been funny if the perspective was not what we expected. And it was just like one giant guy just comes on,
just right.
Like, here's a going.
Like this represents like 10 feet, and there's this big horse just lumbers over over this little ridge. But no, that's far, and like you can see the tiny little horizon, pixels coming up, and they start to get. And man, you're like, oh no, there's so many of them. So the Dothraki are just this. They're sort of like they're considered like a fluid. They just flow over everything.
Yeah,
There's so many of them.
And bear in mind, this is the first time the Lannisters have ever seen Dothraki or fought an enemy like this in combat. They're not prepared for this.
Never a good sign when your boss tells you to have courage.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that.
But at this point, Bronn basically tells Jaime, he's like, you're not an infantryman. Get back to King's Landing. You're needed there. Because Bronn is suspecting that they're going to be slaughtered.
Right. He's like, you're the commander, not an infantry. Come on, get out of here. You need to be safe. So anyway, they're panicking, and they should
Great shot right here.
Beautiful shot. I loved it. They really showed some cool stuff here. They had like somebody on a horse.
I mean, this entire scene is better than most movies I've seen in terms of action and just the emotional impact of it. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit.
Totally, way better than Elmo and Grouchland, I'd say.
Yes.
So then they're going, oh no, there's Bronn telling them to get out of here. You're the commander. These helmets can't be easy to see out of. I think these are ridiculous.
Well, the guy behind him realized that, and he was like, I'm just not going to bring mine.
I'm going to be the spear guy.
But the important thing to remember in this one is the guy on the right. You can actually see his lip quivering. They're terrified.
Yeah, they're worried. These fellas are not happy about this event, and nor would I be. I'd be terrified to be near it, let alone in the front line. So Jaime's obviously overconfident here, and we got the horde swooping in.
And then the subtitle ruins it.
Oh yeah, dragon roaring. That's right.
And then the holy crap moment that everyone who watched the leaked episode would already know happened, but still,
this is one of the big reveals that they showed.
Yeah, even knowing that this happens. From seeing like spoilers and animated GIFs beforehand, it was still incredible to watch.
Oh, it was so cool. I mean, the little boy in me was just growing pubes left and right. It was like, wow, look at him go! Look at that chest! Look at that big old muscly. You got like two breasts like a chicken, like you.
It's pretty much. He's like Robin Williams.
What? Robin Williams?
He had a big barrel chest.
Oh yeah, Robin Williams was pretty barrel chested. I thought you were saying something about his like chicken breasts. I was like, what the fuck? Like chickens, like they have their breasts is the meatiest part of their body. That's where they're.
What does that have to do with Robin Williams?
That's what I was wondering when you brought up Robin Williams. Anyway, great shot, really amazing. Just like this is sort of the fruit. Like remember the end of season 1, Daenerys gets these cute little babies crawling around on her while she comes out of that fire, and from that moment to this moment, we've all been waiting for a dragon attack on a organized army. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Speaking of Daenerys, when she was walking through the cave holding that torch to look at the stuff in the wall, why didn't they just like set her hair on fire? She can't be burned.
Oh, to use her hair as a torch?
It would make more sense.
Really smart. You need to get new clothes then.
Yeah. Anyway, this dragon flying over these people, don't you think the force of the wind from the wings would be like knocking them all over the place?
I don't think necessarily. I think we'd have to do a little research. Maybe the Mythbusters can test that out
let's
for
go
us.
get a dragon.
You hear me? Adam and Jamie Heineman? You two brothers?
Their show was canceled.
I don't care. What do you think those guys do on the weekends? They're really busy. I follow one of them on Twitter. He's always doing cool shit. It makes me, I feel really jealous because he just builds cool stuff.
Did you know that they actually did not like each other a lot? They actually hated each other.
The whole time or at the beginning?
For a very long time.
Wow.
They do not choose to work with each other
anymore. They both
anymore.
seem like, you know, like they probably, I bet social skills weren't their first
probably
trait
not.
that they were good at. They're both good guys though. I like the
Yeah.
Mythbusters. Yeah. You know,
Anyway,
why not?
so then we get to see who was riding, as if there's any question about it.
Look at
Daenerys, and she's in war mode.
And she no longer has her student driver sign, like she's getting lessons.
She's got a learner's permit thing hanging off the dragon.
Yeah. So people know that she's getting used to it. And oh god, this guy's shitting his pants. That's what they're missing from here. Oh, his eyebrows fucked up. That's kind of crazy. This is what you get by these screenshots, everybody.
I don't know why he's thinking of pants.
Yeah, yoga pants. Then men screaming. Uh-oh, they've been burned into ashes. They're turned into smog.
Yeah, so we know that dragon fire is nothing to be trifled with.
No.
It is...
Regular fire is not to be trifled with.
Right, but dragon fire is so much more intense that we literally see these people turning to ashes and bone and ash before our eyes.
Yeah, and
that is something intense.
Well, I hope we have screenshots. But they really went out of their way to make sure that we saw that. Like the ashen corpses that are just they're not just like cooked up dudes.
Which makes it seem a little bit weirder when the Dothraki just kind of ride through the flames after it establishes that this is not any normal fire. This is ultra fire. And
yeah, but these horses... Yeah, right, exactly. Like, these horses... Come on, horses
You think
skittish,
the horses...
man.
Yeah,
there you go.
Would a horse rush through fire that just did that to someone?
It seems unlikely. Maybe they got swept up in the energy of the moment or something.
Or maybe it's just like the initial blast when it first comes out. It's at its pinnacle of the heat, and afterwards it dissipates enough that it becomes less...
But even if this is like not that hot fire, it's still a 10-foot wall of fire.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, so anyway, oh shit, the fucking Dothraki guys are really dangerous.
Is that guy dropping his spear?
Which one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe let go of it. Yeah, he's probably panicking, man. People make all kinds of messed up choices when they're freaking out. It's my whole life. So they break right through, the horses go running through. I don't know, why don't they go around and go whoop, boop?
Well, they probably will, but the whole point was that Daenerys and the Dragonfire allowed them, like you said, to break the line.
Yeah, that looks like an old man face. There's the nose, there's the eyebrow, eyes, face. Okay, sorry.
Excellent observation.
It's not even at all. So anyway, they do break the line, and the Dothraki can't really be messed with. You can shoot them with arrows and stuff and hurt a few of them, but look at these horses running off. Get out of here, oh boy!
It's almost as though that kind of just speaks to the chaos of the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos going on. Hold it, lads. Hold the line. And then, rah, stab. Oh, look, the horse got stabbed, James.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did that to a real horse. I doubt it. Anyway, the horses will take a couple of hits, and, the Lannisters try their best. They do stab a few of them. Why would you never want to be the front row? That always seems crazy. I'm not brave. I'm not. I mean, maybe I would
There's two places you don't want to be the front row. Movie theater and battle.
Movie theater and battle. And Gallagher shows. And
those are the expensive seats. You want to get the watermelon chunks on you.
That's probably true.
You get the plastic sheet. You get to be on camera.
Yeah, and a gangbang. So
I
said, yeah. All right. So there they go. You gotta bring your plastic sheet to the gangbang, James. Be careful. He's got a sledgehammer. All right. Oh god, killing, fighting, cling, clang, stab, stab, groan. Is there a lot of? Oh yeah, they do this is one of their signature moves, is where they get up on their horse and they parkour off and they land and they start slicing necks. Let's take that neck. And that guy's dead, and he's got, look, it's cool. It's like his armor, like made out of the grass itself, and rabbit fur, perhaps. Jamie's going, shit, I only got one hand, I can't fuck this up. So he's, that guy took one to the back, right in the middle of his tramp stamp. That's actually a little high for a tramp stamp, James. Sorry to point that out. It's just physics. So anyway, all the fellas are jumping up, and they're going in. They come right. I like this this forward-leaning arrow shooting move. It looks like center of gravity might make him tip forward, but hey, you know what? I've only ridden horses since I was very young, and I haven't done it in a very long time. So stabbing, a lot of dudes taking arrows and fire, and that guy got two, so that sucks. And the horses are very brave. Gotta give some props. And then all of a sudden, dragon roars. We know it's coming. Another attack. And I was even saying, why don't they attack the line? Why did they go why not go parallel, not perpendicular?
I mean, this is kind of crippling in two senses. One instance is taking out the Lannister army, and the other is taking out all the supplies from the farmlands they've gathered around.
Yeah.
So this is a double whammy. This is rough. This is a big loss.
Yes, they go right for the barrels and the stuff, and there's Dany right there. She is steering that thing, and bang, explosion, boom.
It's hard to imagine how much control she really has over him because she can't really even see what's going on.
Yeah, her eyes are like right up here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like driving a Prius. It's really, you can't see the front hood on a Prius. I just learned from buying a Prius. I love it. It's a great car. It's got air conditioning. Anybody want to make out in my Prius? I'm available. Anybody?
That dragon doesn't have air conditioning.
No, he doesn't. But I thought that the special effects were excellent.
Yeah, I mean, that guy had just finished kicking a football. I mean, it was like, oh, God, no.
There goes the football. Woo!
Yeah.
But the way it kind of rolled through the stuff and sort of blew up and kind of sent chunks of the ground flying up, I thought it was just really effective.
It's almost like, yeah, the next two guys are trying to do the YMCA.
Yeah. YMC. Where's the A? He's already burned. But yeah, I would have run for the water. Hey,
I'd be interested to know if this kind of fire could hurt Daenerys.
I
would think it would.
I can't. Maybe so. She's got to be vulnerable. So I mean, knives can hurt her. So.
Well, I mean, of course, knives can hurt her. I'm talking about her unburnt.
Yeah, I know. I'm
abilities.
saying, like, don't attack her on her strength. Attack her on her weakness.
No, what I'm saying is that this fire is so strong that it would overcome even her strength.
I get it. I understood exactly what you meant. I'm just saying.
Why'd you go with the knives?
Because why bother with fire if you can stab her? Simple.
But I was talking about fire.
I know. I'm not. I'm just saying if your motivation was to injure her, I would either go with she's impervious to fire. Either I should try extra fire. Or a knife.
I wasn't looking for ways to kill her.
No, I know you weren't. Because you were correct. Nothing you said was all right. I'm just saying she's weak. If I were trying to kill her, I'd try to stab her with something.
I was basically saying, can you drown Aquaman?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. Wow. Oh man, my head just blew up. Wow. All right, so take that supplies. So Jamie, of course, is watching it all go up in smoke and flames and crap. Oh man, I was just pounding on the thing. Oh, what a cool shot! That looks really nice. That'd make a nice postcard. And I could say like, "Wish you and I would go back to Steak and Shake and share
visit
that."
King's Landing.
All right. King's Landing strip.
Yes, come for the dragons, stay for
the cum. All right, dragons run. And so they think they're going to actually line up a shot here, right? Look at them. They're ready to go.
Yep.
Get him, boys. Ready. Here he comes. Jamie thinks he's being a commander, except he's just isolated himself and made himself a target.
And I'm actually kind of surprised that they made formation and they're firing at this because these men have never seen a dragon before, so this must be horrifying for everyone.
Yeah.
And yet they maintain their composure enough to make formation to actually fire at it.
They're very well trained. They work for the Lannisters. The Lannister always trains his vets. All right. That actually works out.
I kind of like that.
Lannister always trains his vets. Are you a vet while you're still in the military?
Train doesn't rhyme with pays, but still, it was okay.
A Lannister always spays his pets.
That's much better.
That's right. And they're going to spay these dragons with these arrows here.
Yes.
Loose. They're actually looking for women. Loose. No, all right. So, and then I actually thought that Dany, she kind of saw it coming. So she sort of steered him up to put his big Robin Williams chest plate
and it
forward.
just shows how impervious those scales are.
Yeah, just ding, 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 ding. No, nothing. Didn't do shit. Like they should have shown like I would have done a close up of an arrow, like just catching a little bit of a crack between
slow
the thing.
motion, like.
But it also just falling out when there's no damage at all.
Yeah.
So
you have like a health bar above him too.
Yeah, right. And just like doesn't move.
And there's a text splash on the screen. No effect.
So anyway, Dany's really determined. She's blowing up all the stuff that they got, killing dudes, burning them, turning them into smoke. Bronn is sucking his teeth. I think that's why his tongue looks all crazy there. And he's going, oh no, oh boy. Bronn.
Well, this is where Jamie says, Qyburn Scorpion. I can't fire with one hand. Go get it.
Yeah, that's right. So they've got the ballista. Oh, great shot.
Yes, which they refer to as the Scorpion.
Right, the Scorpion that they're going to use. That's the big catapult arrow launcher thingy. So anyway, a lot of these shots, there's one sequence in here that was very much like Jon's Battle of the Bastards thing. I think that's a little bit later with Jamie. But Jamie's dodging, he's getting attacked, he's fighting them off, he's doing his best. He is still a good fighter, but, you know, look at him, he uses his golden hand to create like a little barrier. That's pretty fun. And see, look how he's holding it. That's
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
So Dickon's getting into it. He's getting his dick on, and everybody's fighting. A little war going on. Bronn's riding around looking for the thing. He goes up to the what's it called? The scorpion?
The scorpion, yeah. But he can't get to the scorpion yet because there's almost like a Dothraki commander or like a Dothraki mini-boss who has come at him.
Yeah, he's really tuned into him. And then he comes up here. Oh, yeah, man, it happened so quick. He chops off the horse's leg, and they showed it.
Yes, and the horse screams.
The horse screams. They do scream. Oh, my
I would
leg.
imagine that the horse would continue to scream, but for the sake of the episode, they chose not to do that.
Actually, there was a little bit of horse sounds after he had stood up here. I remember noticing it. But anyway, his coins go spilling.
I guess after a while, it would have gotten a little hoarse. Yeah.
Well, I like it. Well done. You're on the right course, of course. These are his arcade tokens to take to the arcade, and now he cannot go play Top Gun.
Yeah, so it's almost as though it's symbolic that he dropped his money, yet he realizes that his life in the battle, there's more at stake right now than just gold.
Yes. He can get more gold, he can't get more life. That's how it works. Shouts, oh god, he starts running.
So he leaves the gold and goes for the scorpion.
Yeah, I would have grabbed a couple of the gold. You know. Horses are bellowing, that's how bad their day is, and he's just running around. I think, this is the shot. This is the kind of Jon Snowish Battle of the Bastards shot where he's sort of taking these different threats are coming at him from different angles.
And he pulls the sword from the killed man.
Yep.
Uses it. Awesome.
Yep. That's resourceful. He starts stabbing and stuff and chopping dudes and whatnot. And the dragon comes back and just blows up even more right close to him. I mean, this is all very well done. I thought this whole execution of this sequence was
this was
quite,
if this scene does not win some sort of an Emmy or something, I don't know what will.
I agree. It would be a crime. Anyway, that's the front. Okay, so this guy comes on. He's like kind of stalking Bronn. And then Bronn is waiting inside a tent, and the dude jumps up, rips it open. There was a shot of him from behind. And right when I realized what was happening. So Bronn shoots him with the scorpion, and that's the spear thing. And he just impales the guy, and just... That's a bad way to go.
And this is where you would flash on the screen, overkill!
Overkill!
Yeah, much better.
It was okay. Yours was good too. I liked it. I said 2, like what a prick. Okay, so I've been repeating words a lot today, James. It's driving me crazy. All right, so anyway, he resets it. What are you, Dougie? Driving me crazy. So he resets the thing.
Case files.
Case files. I love that it's easy to set this big thing. I assume this would be like a multi-dude operation.
Well, I mean, Qyburn designed it so that it could be done by a single person, which is smart.
Yeah, he did a good job. And then Tyrion comes wandering up. We were like, where the fuck did Tyrion come from? How did he get that far?
He's back at the commando line. He's far from the battle. He's just watching.
But I think they're closer to King's Landing, as we learned.
But basically Varys is behind him on a motorcycle, and he left the engine running. So he's like, I can get away really quickly.
Hop back on the Vespa, my lords. We've got to go to In-N-Out Burger before they start serving the genuine Thousand Island.
That's where all the eunuchs like to eat. I hate In-N-Out.
You hate In-N-Out?
Yes.
Oh yeah, James doesn't, because they fucked you over because they didn't. There was pickles and there wasn't supposed to be pickles.
No, it's much deeper than that. We'll get into it later.
The list of ingredients was inaccurate.
That was but one of their
many crimes.
failures.
All
yes.
right. Well, we will torch them as soon as we invent dragons. So anyway, they're checking it all out, and oh man, trouble. But the Dothraki have the upper hand, and Tyrion is kind of watching all this go down with sort of a sense of, what have I done? Like, oh my God, look what I've unleashed on my own people. I think it's obviously. I got the feeling that he was not changing his mind, but finally witnessing the exact reality, because his theories are now put into actual practice, and seeing the real violence going on, he's realizing not that he's necessarily going to change his mind, but just that this is a complicated emotion to deal with.
I see where you're going with that, but I don't feel like this is a new emotion for him, because this kind of harkens back to the Battle of Blackwater Bay, where he had the wildfire go off on the Stannis Baratheon's fleet. He saw the explosions and the out-of-control fire of the men screaming and burning in the night.
Yeah. This
is not all that far off from something he's already seen, which occurred at his own command.
Yes, it did occur at his own command.
But there is a person out there that he cares about. Only one person out there he cares about, and that's Jaime. Right. He does not want to see any harm befall his brother, but he knows that his brother's probably going to die facing this kind of a threat.
Yeah, and there's a good chance he'll be turned into barbecue by one of those birds. But yes, the Blackwater Bay situation, though, that was where the Blackwater Renly was in Davos and Stannis. Wasn't Renly part of that?
I don't think Renly was in it.
No? Oh yeah,
I thought Renly was long dead by then.
Only had
the
died.
smoke monster baby killed?
Yeah, that was before.
Yeah,
okay,
this was
right.
Stannis Baratheon.
But it's Stannis. Okay, I was combining the brothers. Stannis, Davos, they were invading, and Tyrion was repelling them, fighting them off. So his incentives were a little bit different at that time. He's obviously gone through some of a journey to get to this point.
Right, so now he's the invader.
He's kind of the invader, yeah. But now it's also on his own people, and he knows his brother is here somewhere, too. So, yeah, this whole shot here with these horses, these white horses with the carrying the dragging the burning thing. I'm pretty sure they didn't set a thing on fire and let with a couple of horses attached to it. I doubt they would do that.
Yeah.
This is like how they would have done this if they had made this movie in the 50s. They would have like literally just burned away.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah,
this is before there were rules and laws and PETA.
The horses will run that way. We got some hoses. We might hose them off if they get a little hot.
And they got other horses on standby in case they need them.
Yeah. But what if the horses farted and whoosh, big flame ball hit the dragon and killed
there actually was a moment in this episode that was like an emotional moment, and I was thinking, oh wow, this is a great scene. And then you just unleash this like monstrous fart into the couch, and it just lost me.
It was 3 big bubbles, that one.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I didn't think you noticed.
My cushion raised up.
I would have said something. It is your couch, and I fart into it a lot. But if it makes you feel better, I do take a lot of fiber.
I mean, this is exactly how I felt when you did it.
Yeah. Torch with this fire, hell flames erupting all around you. All right, so this is just a long thing. I was taking a lot of screenshots too. But I like that they did this. That they bothered showing these guys
taking their helmets off, seeing the damage of the fire.
They're burned, they're torched, they're trying to get into the water. They're just like they're really, really in a lot of trouble here. That's I don't think they have good burn units in Westeros. Mm-hmm. So yeah, look at that. That's a pretty cool shot. Everything is just lighting them up, just totally fucking them up. And then they're more and more dragon flying coming over. This is a really cool shot.
So we need to remember that Bronn is still at the Scorpion.
Right. Bronn's got the big gun at the Scorpion, and Jaime sees another dragon approach coming, and he's going, "Oh man, he's back! Oh crap!" And he runs and take cover. He dives. Whoosh! Flames. Right, James? Good sound.
Sure. Yeah.
And Jamie's like, "Oh, you fucking bitch! Oh, God damn it! This is not the way my day was supposed to go." A great shot. What a cool dragon, huh? God damn it, show is good. So this is the POV from the Scorpion.
Yes.
Bronn is lining up the shot. There he is, commanding the thing. Look at the little Lannister line in there.
Yeah, nice touch.
And comes in on it, and he's moving it, and he
nearly
missed
it. Yeah, so it goes right over her shoulder. She looks over, sees it coming.
Yeah,
so she's aware they've got some sort of firepower that could threaten her.
Yes. So she sees it. So she dials in probably because it's glowing and it's in the middle of the screen. So they show Dany looking at that, and she's like, "All right, you bastards, here we come. I'm gonna bring you what you want. You want to fight? You want to fight me, motherfucker?" And so she comes swooping in again for it. Of course, that's the dangerous thing and then Bronn comes right at her. Look, he calls her a fucker just like I did. And then, rawr! Look at that tongue.
Well, this is after she's already said Dracarys. She's already ordered him to fire.
Yeah, he's got the orders. He's letting it loose. And Dracarys, and there it goes. The spear's away. It's flying at him, and he nails the shoulder right in the armpit.
Yep.
Right, that's going to sting when he puts on deodorant later on. And then now Dany has to survive a falling dragon, although he sort of struggles in the air and he kind of gets his wings back.
Yeah, so this is where she goes on, if you go back twice, right where she's putting a negative review in for the dragon rides.
Yep. yeah, 2 stars. Yes. Great, very clean bathroom.
Would not ride again.
Yeah, would not ride again. The reason I'm not giving this 1 star is because the girl was nice there. She was nice, but the service sucks. All right, I love those Yelp. People are right Yelp. I feel like if you're going to write Yelp reviews, you better be attractive. All right, because otherwise nobody cares what your opinion is. You know what I mean?
How would people know?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm sharing my opinions on the internet constantly, and that's because I break the rules.
Okay.
All right, so panting, there she is. She's going, "Oh God, Jesus!"
So she's in like a tailspin right now. She's going straight down. She's holding on for dear life. She doesn't know if the dragon's dead, if it's dying, if it's going to be able to stop before it gets to the ground. But lo and behold, it does, and it's hovering there, looking at Bronn and the Scorpion, and it basically does the Dracarys.
The Dracarys, yeah. It pulls its signature attack. Wow! Great shot. I love it. And boom, Bronn dives. I didn't think Bronn should have survived this.
I mean, the residual heat from that being so close to it should have melted him.
Like it's really covered it up.
Yeah, but he's such an important character that, of course, they wouldn't let him go out like that.
Like he should have grabbed a shield and held it under him or something like that, or over him. I mean, but anyway, the dragons are all just amazing. This thing. So this obviously will news of this will get back, they're going to know that these dragons are vulnerable. And I think this is going to knock Drogo out for like 3 or 4 episodes, which is good. Got to dial back Dany's power a little bit.
Yeah, he's got to ice it and go into, therapy.
Yeah, do some rehab, do some exercises. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, flames. Dany gets down to the ground. She's down there.
Now she's vulnerable.
Now she's trying to pull it out. That's what you do with surgery. You just immediately yank out whatever's poked into your buddy.
Kingslayer sees an opportunity.
Yep. But this is also when Tyrion spots his brother.
Yes.
There's a shot of his horse, which we don't have.
He says,
here,
"Flee, you idiot."
Yeah. This is Tyrion talking. Tyrion's basically hoping his brother doesn't do something stupid like attack a dragon. And of course,
well, he's not attacking the dragon. I think he's going for Daenerys.
Well, he is, but what's going to defend the dragon's going to?
Right, but his target is the dragon's the threat. The target is Daenerys.
Sure, I guess if you're saying I'm attacking Cersei, I'm not actually attacking the mountain, but the threat is the mountain.
Yeah,
that's what I meant by that. I'm glad we cleared that up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then anyway, Jaime's all pissed off. I don't blame him. He's an emotional guy, and he's like, I'm going to get you. How dare you? This is Tyrion talking here. You idiot. You fucking idiot. That's not exactly how it sounded, but he's like, oh, crap, my brother's about to die, and this is terrible, and as he's coming in, the dragon catches wind, and not super smart there, pal. Luckily,
Theon Greyjoy comes in and saves him. No, that's Bronn.
That's Bronn. Bronn comes leaping in out of nowhere, grabs him, and they splash into the water, saving the handsome face with his golden hand.
And imagine just how hot that would be for Daenerys where she's standing.
Really, yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
Especially that long wool
her clothes should be burnt off entirely from that.
Yeah, no kidding. She's behind him maybe a little bit. She's like next to his head. Maybe it's nuts. Maybe she's got enough space back there. Maybe she's wearing some asbestos, which is fireproof. Asbestos is actually extremely useful. It just causes cancer from everybody that touches it, so it's fucked up. All right, so then they're in the water. Jaime's wearing a suit of armor. Leather is not necessarily, doesn't make great speedos. And he's also got a giant golden hand. So the last thing we see in the episode, Jaime looking up, he's still alive. And he's not expecting to live much longer here. He drifts down into the murky deep, and it goes black.
Yep.
And that's it.
And then the next episode opens with him and Ariel. And he's, talking to Sebastian and Flounder, and it's a much happier...
Under the sea.
Downwards wet.
Plays a clam xylophone and has a good time. Marries a mermaid, 69's with a mermaid.
Oh, God, you had to take it there.
Well, come on, think about it.
Anyway.
Do the math.
Score of 1 to 10 this episode.
9.5.
I'd say that's
I'm only doing
accurate.
that. Honestly, I should say 10 because I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah.
Nothing about it. No, I'm like, it would change. Yeah, great episode. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I thought that a lot of pieces. It's like the power is rapidly oscillating back and forth.
Yeah.
Cersei was in a great position at the end of this episode, or the end of the previous episode. Now the Lannisters took a big hit. Dany got her, her vengeance, so to speak. But they're all sort of losing pieces. It's like chess. They're playing chess, but they're all kind of down to like 2 rooks. I almost said 3
It's
rooks.
always good when one side is not the obvious choice to win. Obviously, we know Daenerys is going to win. Cersei's going to fall. The Lannisters will be defeated. We know that's going to happen because George R.R. Martin would never let it end that. I mean, imagine the big middle finger that would be flown in the face of the audience if that did happen.
I wouldn't describe that as a middle finger. I'd say that's more what the show offers. It doesn't. It sometimes gives you sometimes the bad guys win, man.
Yeah. I just don't think he's going to do it that way. But,
I agree
it does show that there's backwards and forward motion. There's not one side being overly powerful all the time.
Right.
And we still have to see whether or not Daenerys and perhaps the Lannisters and Daenerys will come together. Perhaps Jaime will kill Cersei and the Lannisters will unite with Daenerys and Jon and they will fight the White Walkers together. It seems unlikely, but maybe.
That's what's so fascinating is once the White Walkers become something that cannot be dealt with. They're like they're global warming. It's like, we got to wait till it's a big problem and then we're all going to deal with it. When there was one guy who knew what he was talking about, was actually mentioning it beforehand. We could have done something early, but I mean that's going to really just completely mess up everybody else's plans and stuff. So last thing, Jaime dead? Is he dying here?
No, he's going to be saved.
Yeah, he'll be saved. 100%. It'd be very shocking. The fact that they didn't show him die means he's alive. He's going to be dragging out of the water.
They didn't show Stannis die.
Jorah's going to rescue him.
He's now a grayscale mermaid.
Well, I'm saying this because almost the exact thing happened with Tyrion when they were attacked in, was it not Volantis, the old city where the stone men live. what's that called?
Valeris.
Something like that. V something.
Vsauce.
V.I. Warshawski. Yep. And anyway, Tyrion gets knocked into the water, and there's a very similar shot to this, to what we're seeing with Jaime right here, where he sinks down to the bottom, and the next time we see Tyrion's like coughing up water on the beach, and because Jorah saved him. Remember, Jorah's not too far from here. Jorah was just in the Citadel, and he left.
What if it's a great whale that comes and saves him, and then the whale crests out of the water, and you notice in that moment that it's Sam?
He's got a blowhole with a book in it.
He's got his maester chain.
Yeah. Oh, hello, it's me. Whoa. That's my whale impression. Yeah. I think Jorah's gonna save him, man, because he saved two of the.
So you think that during this whole time, Jorah was just like hiding in the lake?
Well, there's always a lot of cacophony going on around battles.
Yeah, he was in his Bear Island submarine.
Yeah. It's like a car accident. You can steal from one of the cars while the paramedics are helping the other guy.
I think that I would probably eat my shoe if that happens, but I'd like to see it happen. I don't see how it would make any sense, but...
Well, it doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense just because then he's done it for both brothers.
But Jorah has no loyalty to Jaime Lannister.
That's true. Well, maybe Tyrion will save him then here. Tyrion will somehow fish him out. All right, fine. Well, whatever. We'll find out later.
Unless Tyrion's like a tugboat, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, Tyrion will have his dudes do it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Drag him out. No, not so rough. You Dothraki. All right.
Or why can't the Dothraki drag him out and take him prisoner?
That's what I mean with Tyrion. Tyrion's got the Dothraki guys. They're his buddies.
And then keep him in a cage, and he'll be like on their side.
Yeah.
And they'll take his other hand.
Yeah. Well, that's right. When I say
he's been captured before.
It'd be funny if the dragon burned off his other hand, just at the wrist. All right. So there you go, guys. James, anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I was thoroughly happy with this episode, even though I kind of knew the major plot points that were going to happen because of that stupid leak. It did not diminish 1 ounce from my enjoyment of this overall episode. This was just great from start to finish.
That's excellent endorsement. You can't get better than that, and I agree. I thought it was wonderful, and I can't wait for more. Speaking of more, like and subscribe. Be part of our community of heroes. We love seeing comments and stuff, and we keep I don't know. Honestly, I think my BO is coming back, James. It's starting.
Yeah, I'm about to go take a shower, too.
My deodorant's wearing off. So we will see you all next time, everybody. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye, James. I love you even more than I love the audience. Do you love me?
Yeah.